about to listen to is incredibly stupid. Listener discretion is advised.
Trying to tell a nice little story about Tara Reid.
And you spend 5 minutes trying to remember where the location was, like it even mattered to the story.
I like how you pop in for one segment, you're going to give me shade.
Whoa!
Shade.
Shade.
He said that like Bill Raftery, just like, with a little kiss.
Oh, my.
Shade.
Hey, a little shade. Throwing it on him.
My sternum hurts.
I bet it does.
Featuring Panama Ted,
I'm a dork and stupid.
Timmy Hall,
I love a good, thin meat.
and a crap ton of random sounds from the internet.
His lower body is ridiculously thick.
You're a little stupid.
Not on my watch.
My butt sore. Holler.
I like that laugh.
Welcome to Man and Bone.
Happy Monday. Welcome in. Hello, Bone.
Hello, man.
Oh, we got a show today, Bone.
Oh, we do.
It's Yikes Monday.
Yeah.
4:30 for Yikes. Jason's beef. With our guy Jason Stark at 5:30. And you know, last week on Tuesday, we had the April Fool's show. Some of you liked it, some of you didn't. Whatever. We did it.
Yep.
And we were thinking we have to do something even bigger for this Tuesday's show. So tomorrow, during the 3 o'clock hour, we're going to have a special co-host. That's all I'm going to tell you. It's going to be me, it's going to be Bone, and someone else.
It's, I'll put it this way. It's such a big deal that we're leading the show with it.
I'm just saying, I encourage you to listen. It may be great. It may be horribly uncomfortable.
Could be that, too.
Could be that.
Oh, it could be a lot of things, buddy. But you know what? It's going to happen.
Tomorrow, 3 o'clock hour, special guest host on this show. I feel like we have to do something now every single Tuesday.
Okay. We'll have
The
to
Tuesday after that, sex change for Teddy.
Is that Ted? God bless.
How you doing, Ted?
I'm doing good, Mike.
Fully support whatever you need to do. Yeah, it's well, you know, we can only top ourselves so many times. And then after that, it's going to, you know, we're going to have to kind of tail off.
Well, good news.
Okay.
Title game tonight. Houston and Florida. They're saying 8:50 start time. I don't know if it's actually going to get started at 8:50. You know, call me stupid, Bone.
You're stupid.
Yes, I am. But yesterday, you had the women's championship game, UConn, all over South Carolina.
Domination.
I mean, just second half especially just killed them.
Yeah.
And Gino wins title number 12, and people are humping each other in stores again. It's fantastic.
Stores, Connecticut.
Right, Stores, Connecticut. Not just stores. Well, maybe.
I don't know.
Stores in stores.
Let us know if you're at a Kohl's, how it's going there. Just give us a call.
A Kohl's in Stores, Connecticut.
A store in stores, you're saying?
Yes.
Shocking.
So you had that. I sat there. Samantha wanted to watch it. We watched all the game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I said that like I've never watched the game. We watched all the game. 3 o'clock start time. Ended. Had some dinner.
Great. A great time spot on a weekend.
Good little time.
Yeah.
Right?
And a great game.
And she said, I want to watch the men's game tomorrow night. I said, you can't.
Because it's too late.
You're 8.
Yeah. You're not staying up until 11 o'clock.
I can't justify letting this kid stay up that late. And I hate to be the old man river guy. But for years, all I heard on sports talk radio was, how could you start these World Series games at 8 o'clock at night? You are losing the young fan base. They're not going to be interested in your product. And there are some people today that feel like that's a self-fulfilling prophecy, that it's happened.
Right.
That's why the young people, there's plenty of reasons why, if that's even the case, why young people are not interested in Major League Baseball. Maybe that's one of them. Maybe it's not. I don't know. I don't think the lack of World Series day games is the reason why an entire generation feels detached from a product, but whatever.
Yeah.
But nobody says jack squat about the biggest game of the college basketball season starting at essentially 9 o'clock Eastern time. And that's a 20-minute cut from last year.
I think it's a fair point by you. I don't understand why they do that either. Now, I can tell you as someone who I don't remember much of my childhood memories watching World Series games, or to be fair, NCAA tournament games. I know I did, but I can tell you where I remember staying up late and watching an NCAA championship game was when I was in high school, and I remember watching Arizona with Lute Olson back in the day. I remember staying up and watching that. And I don't know what time that was on, but I watched it. And I didn't care. And I think at some point, but that's because I was a basketball fan. I grew up watching basketball, and I did have, I guess to be fair, plenty of college basketball to watch throughout my youth. I did watch the NBA a lot as a youth, right? I was a child of the 90s, purely in the Jordan, Pippen era Bulls. Got to see all of Kobe and Shaq starting things up in the late 90s and everything in between. Sean Kemp, bad Cavs uniforms at Gund Arena, all of that. I saw it all. And so when basketball came around, I tuned in because I liked basketball. Perhaps the issue is maybe you don't have as many kids playing baseball. Perhaps some of the reason that your ratings have gone down is because of late start times. Or maybe it's because there was an entire generation of kids who grew up being told, this is all fake. None of this is real. All these dudes pumped up on steroids. This is all the guys you've enjoyed watching. That's all baloney. They're all going to test positive. They're all going to get popped with congressional hearings. If you go now to the kids under 20 years old, I am told by those who follow such things, baseball's making a comeback with that age group. It's doing better than it has
I'm glad it
the
is.
generation in between mine and your generation, and then that under 20 crowd, the generation of 20 to 35-year-olds that doesn't watch as much baseball. They unfortunately kind of came along in a time where baseball was in tons of upheaval. And everybody was saying, oh, yeah, all these guys are getting popped. A-Rod, Bonds, Clemens. Didn't matter who you rooted for. Sosa, McGuire. Everybody's getting popped. So maybe that had a little something to do with it, too. But whatever. It's almost like it's a complicated issue. And we'll never know exactly why that happened.
You talked about the NBA Finals, and, they started those games during the week, late.
Yeah.
You know what the difference is there? It's called summer.
That's true. You're right.
Kids can stay up later in the summertime.
You're right.
I did. I
Yes,
was allowed
of
to stay
course.
up later.
Yeah, I mean, I remember watching NBA Finals games. I guess that's fair. But, yeah, you know what? We watched that game yesterday, that UConn-South Carolina game. And I'll tell you, I am not a UConn fan nor a South Carolina fan. I just watched because I knew it would be good basketball, and I didn't know it would go like this. I didn't think UConn would be up by 30
I don't think
most of the
anybody
second half.
knew that.
But, South Carolina is a brand. Whether you follow a lot of women's basketball, I think most people know South Carolina in the last 5-6 years has been pretty dominant in the sport. Caitlin Clark came along, and she was pretty good. I think you probably know UConn basketball as a brand in women's basketball over the last 20 years, being pretty good under Gino Auriemma. But I don't have any connection to any of UConn. And yesterday, when Paige Beckers walked off the court, and she goes over to Gino Auriemma and gave him a hug, and then she buries her face in his shoulder and starts sobbing, I teared up. I thought, that's a moment, right? That is a coach and a player. The player's been through a lot. She's had injuries. She was this storied prospect coming out of not just high school, junior high. They were aware of how good this girl was. She's lived up basically to all of it through the injuries and everything, and now she gets the national title to kind of, you couldn't have a better send-off for your last game as a collegiate player than that. And then to have that moment with her coach, it was awesome.
As good as, she was, and she's got a large freshman woman on that team whose name I forget.
That's Sarah Strong?
Yes, Sarah Strong.
She's great. She's the future there, too, right?
Oh, my God. She's a freshman.
Yeah, she's incredible.
Unbelievable.
AZ Fudd is there.
Yeah,
She's been great. She had other injuries. Yeah.
This is my breakdown of women's basketball. And then this one's good. And that one's good. But you know what? I watched the entire damn game. You know what I was the most impressed about? Was just how they played defense from start to finish. Just smothering in your face defense where normally you're too fatigued to do that at the end of the game. They never let up.
No. And it's a testament to their recruiting, having players who buy in, who understand all that. But if you watch Gino Auriemma over the years, every time he talks about Paige Beckers, he has something to say about her. Oh, God, when can she leave? She annoys me so much. It's playful. He's joking, but he gives her as much crap as anyone I've ever seen. And then she all the time calls him an old man and how, he's a Coach going to yell at me for that, and they have this relationship where in the media, they've almost never broken for 5 years about how much animosity, air quotes, they had towards each other. And in that moment, it was one of those things. I think he said a few last weekend before, because Paige Beckers had a 40-point game, I think, either in the Final Four or the Elite Eight. And he said after the game, walking off the court, he said, that's the best I've ever seen her play. He gets to the post-game interview, and they asked him again. They said, you just said that's the best you've ever seen Paige Beckers play. And he goes, did I? I thought I said that's the most I've ever seen her shoot. Like he just, that's their relationship they've had. So seeing them both have a real human moment, that's what makes sports great. For me, I enjoy stuff like that. So, you know what? It wasn't the best game ever, but it had some good moments in it, and well done by everybody there.
I got a little nugget from the game yesterday. Oh. Who was on the call? Was it Ryan Rucco or whatever?
Yeah, Ryan Rucco.
Rucco, where you can't say tournament. He says tournament. Whatever. The first game that Gino Auriemma coached at UConn had an attendance of 100 people. Wow. You want to talk about someone who, we talk about Coach K building a program, right? Jim Calhoun building a program, Boeheim building a program. I guarantee you none of those guys coached their first game in front of 100 people.
Probably right.
And then he's won 12 national championships, can't get a damn ticket.
Yeah, that's it's quite an accomplishment, and it was a good day for women's basketball. Just as much as I was texting with Matt Andrews because he said, "Oh yeah, look at UConn taking it to South Carolina." I said, "It's good to see plucky underdogs UConn getting it."
That's right, 2 seed.
They're a 2 seed. They weren't South Carolina, the 1 seed, but hey, let them live. They got it done.
We had another title this weekend. I don't want to ignore it because it's a big deal. And Bad Jackets next. Cowan, Man, and T-Bone on the Fan.
Fan Traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza in Grandview.
You're looking at some slowdown due to an accident that's on Lockbourne Road on the north leg, south of Refugee Road. We also have some slowdown due to an accident that's on South Hamilton Road at Firehouse Lane. This report is sponsored by Murphy Tractor. Your job is demanding, so choose a partner who delivers more. At Murphy Tractor and Equipment, they provide John Deere equipment that sets the standard for reliability and performance. Visit murphytractor.com and take your job site to the next level. I'm Nicole for 97.1 The Fan Traffic.
Men, is good enough really what you want with your sex life? This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health. And if erectile dysfunction is making a bad bedroom experience for you and your partner, you should call us because you want your intimacy to be fantastic, both for you and the one you love. At Tri-State Men's Health, our treatments have success rates of well over 90%. And because we're a medical practice focused on men's sexual health, we can offer many treatment options and even combine treatments to find the right one for you. Which means if you're like most of our patients, we can likely get you performing like you haven't in years. So make an appointment and make a change from good enough to really good. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654. That's 800-900-9654. Or go to tristatemenshealth.com. We have 6 offices in the tri-state area to serve you. Tri-State Men's Health, a Promenic restorative health practice.
Feeling unsure about preparing your roof for spring storms? Newman Roofing is here for you. For over 30 years, we've helped homeowners understand their roof's condition so they can make the best decision for their home. Stop worrying and call 614-NEW-ROOF or visit newmanroofing.com today. Don't just get a new roof, get a Newman roof.
Sometimes you don't realize something was bothering you
until it's gone.
That's how you're going to feel
after we work our magic at your house.
We make junk disappear.
All you have to do is point.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK
or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
It's Kubota Orange Days. From America's #1 selling compact tractor to zero-turn mowers and versatile RTVs, get your perfect match delivered to your door. Now through June 30th, get 0 down, 0% APR for 84 months or up to $2,000 off BX 2380 tractors. See the details at KubotaOrangeDays.com.
Stop by CEC Turf and Tractor in Athens, Canal, Winchester, Lancaster, or Toledo to see their full line of Kubota tractors and mowers, or check them out online at cecturfandtractor.com. Do you suffer from leg pain, leg swelling, varicose veins, or leg ulcers? Dr. Barry Zeta and Dr. Joseph Senta at Ohio Vein and Vascular Polaris are pioneers in the vein and vascular field. Dr. Zeta and Dr. Senta can perform minimally invasive procedures that will get you back on track to a pain-free life. Stop living with leg pain and start the process to healthy living with a free healthy leg screening. Go to loveyourveins.com or call 614-324-VEIN. That's 614-324-VEIN or loveyourveins.com.
Skyline nachos are back, and now there's a spicy version. Get them with Skyline's cheddar or habanero cheese, topped with fiery jalapeno slices. But hurry, Skyline's regular and new spicy nachos are only at participating restaurants for a limited time.
Here's 3 reasons to buy your Blue Jackets ticket plans for the 25-26 season. 1, pick your seat and pick your games. 2, plans start at just 11 games. 3, priority access to Stanley Cup playoff tickets. Act now. Visit bluejackets.com/tickets. Hi, here are some ways to listen to The Fan. You can download the Fan app, or listen at home on your smart speaker, or open up the iHeartRadio app, or hold your head out the window and hear Common Man scream. Happy listening from the dopes at The Fan.
Legend has it, underneath the NJM insurance offices lies a mysterious room of long-forgotten, moldy mascot memorabilia. Often pitched by ad agencies, always rejected by NJM. Is it real? We may never know. But what is real is NJM's dedication to doing what's right for their customers. Astoundingly, they're proud to put policyholders first. No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. Learn more at njm.com.
Insurance underwritten by NJM Insurance Company and its subsidiaries.
Everyone deserves a fast and reliable connection. One that helps better their everyday through the things they value most. Friends and family, education and career. A connection that opens pathways to opportunity and builds roads to a better future. At Spectrum, we're committed to delivering just that every single day. Because with the right connection, anything is possible. That's Life Unlimited. That's Spectrum.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Start at Indeed.com/credit.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We'll see mostly sunny skies today and highs getting in the mid to upper 50s, but winds will pick up, which will add that wind chill, so make sure to bundle up. We could see some isolated showers later on in the day, otherwise decreasing clouds overnight. Lows in the 20s with a freeze warning in place that goes overnight into your Tuesday. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Gaudreau with your 10 weather impact forecast.
ESPN Bet is the official sports book of Common Man and T-Bone. On your phone or in person at Hollywood Casino Columbus. The Fan.
The only thing harder than Common Man's arteries is T-Bone thinking about a red-bellied woodpecker. This is Man and Bone.
So here's some news today. I saw that Meredith Gaudreau had the baby.
Oh,
she posted on social media today that the baby was actually born on April 1st, but she announced it today on Instagram. Carter Michael Gaudreau, 8 pounds, 3 ounces, 20.5 inches. And she says that's the same exact measurements as his dad.
Oh, wow.
8.3 ounces and 20.5 inches at birth. She says he looks exactly like Daddy, too, which...
Wow.
The combination of joy and grief and everything is something I cannot wrap my head around, but we are thinking of Meredith and the family as they get going now as a family of 4.
Yeah. The picture of her with the other 2 kids in the hospital bed where she's got the newest edition laying kind of on her stomach, and then she's got her arms around the other 2 is just such a beautiful photo. And, yeah, for that family, everything that they've been through, you know, not just with Johnny's family, but with Matthew Gaudreau's family as well, his young family. Like, that's just, can't imagine what, the mom and dad have been through there. And the support from the hockey community has been awesome to see in the wake of all of that. But this is just another part of that story that I think has changed a lot of people, who have watched this sport for years. It's, it's a touching moment in this kind of, terrible tragedy. So it's nice to have those moments throughout all the darkness, I guess.
Something else I think we don't talk enough about, and that is, Sean Monahan and what he's been through for this entire thing. He comes here in free agency to play with his buddy, and that doesn't happen. Gets hurt, right?
Mm-hmm.
Still is playing sort of behind the scenes uncle to Meredith's kids.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, has his own family and his own issues to worry about. And when he's been on the ice, he's been great.
Right.
He's played up to expectations this year. You wouldn't blame him for a second if he wasn't able to, but he has.
No, I don't know, honestly, with that whole organization, everybody over there at the Jackets, I know, obviously, they've been dealing with it all year long, but it's, you're right, Monahan, especially with him coming over to fill that role on this team, to be kind of like a right-hand man for Johnny Gaudreau, and then really never getting to do that.
Everybody should have done that, too. Boone Jenner, hurt all season long, right? Works his way back into the lineup the day after he makes his return. He dresses up like Donald Duck and goes to Johnny's kid's birthday.
Yeah, that's right.
That's the type of guys who are on this team. Now, with all that being said, all those pleasant things about them being said, this weekend was a big, giant, steaming pile of crap. And I thought it was unlikely this was going to be a playoff team before this weekend, and I think we can look at the trip into Toronto and into Ottawa, and not just the results, but how those results happened, and say it's done, right?
Well,
we're cooked.
Yeah, it's not looking great. I don't really know what the math is, but
Math is bad.
Math's not good. The vibes are worse, and honestly, it goes back to that Colorado game, right, where they have been shut out. I think now, did they set the record for the most minutes that they've been shut out over a 3-game period? I think in Jackets history, or they haven't had one as long as this.
It's been a long ass time,
to
Bone.
2003, Mike. So yeah, it's been all sorts of not good about how right now the inability for this team to score. Say what you will about the goaltending situation, we have
and we will
no doubt said plenty about it, but when you can't even get any pucks, when you're not generating any offense, that to me takes a back seat of that conversation. And far too often since the Stadium Series game, this team has not scored goals or scored a paltry amount of them. And yeah, they've gotten bad goaltending, bad defense in front of the goaltender. That's all real, but it doesn't matter if you can't score the puck.
Piece in The Athletic today about how they need a goaltending overhaul in the offseason, which you and I have said that. I mean, look, the reality is Elvis Merzlikins is probably still untradeable at this point. His contract is untradeable.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any solution, no pathway forward, no honest conversations, no more honest conversations to be had about trying to get this guy to be a better teammate. It's done. You buy him out, you lick your wounds, and that's it.
Well, that's what I was going to say. That's the option to get out of it, is you just do the buyout. And it does save them some money as of, previously doing it the year before. They'd done it last year. It would have been a different thing.
But you tried it. Dean Evison comes in, lets him try.
Yeah.
It's not sustainable. We can't have Elvis Merzlikins, him too, as the goaltender on this team when the season starts next year.
Well, Dean Evison has been, pretty vocal about how he likes to give goalies a chance, right? And he wants to give goalies an opportunity to work through some stuff, and he doesn't like to pull guys early. What has it been now? I think twice in the last 3 games, they've had to yank a goalie early, like before the end of the game. That's not that just tells you right now that it's not good there. And it's not just Elvis, right? Elvis came in for Tarasov the other night.
Tarasov isn't the answer at number 1 either. I'm not saying make room for Terry.
What the point is, he's a solid number 2 option, I think, on most decent teams. You need to go out and find a number 1, and that's going to cost you, and you're going to have some sunk cost with how much you've already spent.
I understand.
But you got to do something like that.
It's not Tarasov. It's not Jet Greaves. It's not anybody in this pipeline right now.
No.
You need to go out and get yourself a true number 1 goaltender and cut bait with Elvis. It needs to be done.
I am with you on that 100%, and I hope that is priority number 1 for this offseason.
We talked about UConn winning yesterday. We got the championship tonight, Houston and Florida. You can catch all the action for that right here on the Fan. Tip is supposed to be around 8:50. But there was another title that was given out yesterday, and I feel like we can't ignore it because it's historic. It's never happened before. Gus Johnson was waxing on and off about how wonderful it was and how this tournament's here to stay, and take notice of the crown, ladies and gentlemen, because Nebraska won the first ever Crown Championship against UCF in Vegas, where if you just watch the highlight, it looks like people are going wild, and look, all the crowd's into it. And then you see the big shot, and you realize they have all the people in the first 8 rows of this entire huge arena in Vegas. It's empty.
Empty. As it should be.
Of course it should be.
No one cares about this thing. And I don't know why they've tried to force it down our throats. But, you know, I was yesterday I watched the women's game, the women's championship. And then I was flipping around and I saw there was like some baseball coming on, and I saw there was some hockey going on, and I'm flipping around like, all right, maybe I'll check into one of those. And then I see on the guide, it says Nebraska and UCF. And I'm like, I genuinely had forgotten this thing was going on. I thought, is this volleyball? I don't know when volleyball's tournament is, but it said championship on it. And then I'm thinking like, I don't think that's right. And then I thought, I don't know when field hockey is. What is? So I'm like in my head,
It's the Crown, baby.
Right.
How'd you forget?
So I clicked on it, and as I'm clicking on it, I'm like, it's on FS1 or whatever it ended up being on, either that or Fox. It was a bigger channel, and I'm like, okay. And then as soon as I clicked on it, I'm like, oh, this is probably the Crown. And right then the game came up, and I saw it was basketball, and I said, and I backed out on principle. I love basketball. You know me, I'm a big basketball guy. I, on principle, said, I don't care who's playing. I don't care what's going on. I don't care if a guy's going for 50. I'm not watching this game. On principle, I disagree with it, and I clicked out.
Let me ask you a question. You know, what was the prize money that they get, like $300,000?
Well, it's NIL, yeah, something like that.
Right, the players get to split $300,000. Well, good for them. I hope they enjoy it.
Sure.
But you know, somewhere today, it's someone's job in corn country to price out a banner for this. Like they called Banners Are Us in Nebraska. They are going to put a crown banner up in that arena. They have to, right?
You can't hang that banner.
They're going to do it. They're the champs.
No, you can't hang that banner.
First ever champs. They're going to hang that banner. They're going to have a ceremony the first game of next season. Look what we did.
I hope I don't live to regret. Well, I hope I live. I hope I don't have to see something like this where I have to regret or eat these words. But I hope Ohio State is never in this tournament, let alone I don't hope we ever win it. I really hope I don't have to come on here in a few years and be like, well, you know, guys, hey, we're raising a banner for the Crown. No,
get out of here.
I am anti the Crown. I think it's a dumb idea. I don't care how much you like basketball. I'm as big a basketball fan as you're going to find, and I have no desire to watch this because I know what it is. It's the worst teams in the Big Ten playing the worst teams from other conferences.
Yeah, but the drama, and it's in Vegas. Anything in Vegas is good.
Yeah, but again, I don't think there's any of these people. But if there is someone who's watching The Crown who then says, I can't watch the NBA, I can't watch a regular season game, there's no stakes, at least those regular season games all add up to a record for something that actually matters, which is your NBA standings.
This matters too. You got a banner. I'm just saying.
A banner.
They're making one today.
Light that banner on fire.
And Fred Hoiberg's going to use it to wipe his ace.
That's about the only thing it's good for. I agree with you on that.
We're going to talk about our Russian friend coming up in 2 minutes. Common Man and T-Bone on the Fan.
Fan Traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza in Grandview.
You should watch out for an accident that's causing delay on Hague Avenue at Olive Avenue south of West Broad Street. And we've got an accident that's on the left shoulder of northbound 71 on the south side at US 62 that's causing delay. This report is sponsored by Ohio Basement Authority. Are your windows sticking? Is your drywall cracking? Contact Ohio Basement Authority, the foundation repair experts. Get your free inspection today. Learn more at ohiobasementauthority.com. Licensed in all states where work is performed. I'm Nicole for 97.1 The Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic sponsored by The Waterworks. Get up to $2,000 off a new complete furnace and AC system with The Waterworks. Visit online today at thewaterworks.com.
This is big. Rent-A-Center's biggest discount is on. From April 6th to April 12th, take 50% off the total cost to own on all items in-store or online. Only at Rent-A-Center. 50% off offer reduces the total amount necessary to acquire ownership pursuant to rental purchase agreement. Offer valid on new agreements entered into April 6, 2025 through April 12, 2025. Participating locations only.
Before you start your day, UDF has already started baking your breakfast. We're making biscuits and croissants in our bakery served with sausage, egg, and cheese before you hit your first alarm. Fresh baked breakfast sandwiches from United Dairy Farmers. UDF, mornings made for you.
If your garage door is so ugly that Google Street View blurred it out, we are Deluxe Door Systems. For 30 years, transforming the look of people's homes with beautiful Clopay doors. Straightforward, honest, and for less than you think. DeluxeDoorSystems.com.
Everyone has that one goal, that thing they want to prove, not to other people, but to themselves. Then, right when you think you could actually do it, cancer. And that goal is still within reach. I would know. I'm about to run my first ever marathon with my 2 best friends. 3 years after having cancer.
At least we look good in these shorts.
Woo! Let's get it, guys. You, keep making plans.
Visit ohiohealth.com/keepmakingplans to learn more.
Common Man and T-Bone is sponsored by the Hinderer Motor Company. We love what moves you. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
We did the math. Common Man has hosted over 5,000 shows on The Fan. 3 of them have been halfway decent. Here's Man and Bone.
Teddy?
Yeah.
This ain't one of them.
No.
But tomorrow could be one of them. At the start of the show tomorrow, top of the 3 o'clock hour, we're going to have a special guest host. Me, Bone, and someone else. As the show starts. I'm not going to tell you who it is.
Tito.
God, no. I'm not going to tell you who it is. Not Tito. But it's a big name, and we hope that you're here to listen to it. It could be fantastic. It could be a complete and total disaster.
Oh, I think it could be all the above. I'm actually looking forward to finding out how this goes myself, even though I know who the guest is.
Yes, I was going to say, want me to tell you who it is?
I know who it is. I just have no idea how this is going to go.
I don't either.
And
but we're going to give it a shot. And kudos to this person for coming in and also giving it a shot.
That's exactly right.
So I'm not going to tell you who it is, but 3 o'clock tomorrow, make sure you're here. Teddy?
I was going to say, and you get all the credit for this, right?
Credit or failure?
Yeah, it could be shame.
It was you, or I don't know, did Fish pull this off, or was it you? All you?
No, I mean, it was me working in cahoots with Fish.
Okay.
Fish is much nicer than me, so he was able to, massage some egos and get some stuff done.
Sure, that's very true. That's right.
Alex Ovechkin is the new goals leader, so congratulations to him. Now we can stop talking about it. He's the leader. I saw that his buddy, Vladimir Putin, sent out heartfelt congratulations today, so I'm sure when he gets back to Russia. Yes, that's right.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure when Ovi gets back to Russia, because they're very close, very close. It'll be special Ovi Day in Russia. Have a parade, maybe a ballet. I assume that's what happens in Russia every single day.
They do love their ballet. That's a big thing.
Tchaikovsky shows up.
I'd rather have Shostakovich. Neither of them are alive, I don't believe. Tchaikovsky.
Anna Kournikova.
Oh, yeah, she's alive.
She shows up.
Yeah, you know what's really this was all we knew this was coming.
Shows up to date her mom.
Mom's there.
I beat you to it, Teddy.
Yes.
Teddy was putting on the headphones to make a joke.
Man,
I don't get to talk too much. Why you take my joke?
Where's Rimmer at?
Well, here's what I kept seeing. Speaking of Rimmer, because I'm watching, over the weekend, I see the highlight, and they're like, "Oh, there it is. There's his goal. He scored the goal." And of course, what else is it? A slapper from the dot. Go figure.
He's got 42 goals on the season at his age. I don't know how he does it.
I'll give him credit. He's not my favorite guy, but the game before that, right? He had an opportunity to go back out there, and they asked him, because it was an empty net situation. They said, "Hey, if we get the puck and you're on the ice, do you want the puck to go get the goal?"
He doesn't want an empty net
and he
situation.
said no. To his credit, he said, "No, I don't want an empty netter. I want to earn it." And fine, fair enough. I'm sure there's a few along the way that he's had that were empty netters, but let him live.
Well, you know what? You can go back and watch it.
Sure you can.
Because the Washington Capitals just tweeted this out. Y'all got 2 hours, 10 minutes, and 37 seconds to spare as they put together a montage of all 895 goals. The first one being against your Columbus Blue Jackets.
First two.
First two, that's
first
right.
two. Yeah, he scored 2 in that game. Now, I went back and looked up the box score from that date. That was October 5th, 2005.
And Jackets had a special player score a couple goals that night, too, didn't he, Bone?
Yes. Are we talking about the same guy?
Well, the Jackets had a player that scored 2 goals in that game.
Who did?
Ohio guy, too.
Noted hockey luminary Dan Fritchie scored 2 goals in that game.
Dan Fritchie.
Let him live.
Dan Fritchie.
Right. It's a cavalcade of names that you're like, oh, yes. Like Luke Richardson got the assist on one of them.
Luke's my guy.
Tyler Wright and Gilbert Brulé.
Oh,
got
that's another great draft selection by Dougie Mack.
They had the other 2 assists on that one, but Jackets lost that game 3-2.
Pascal Leclerc?
Pascal, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
The ugliest man alive, Pascal Leclerc.
That was the Jackets outshot the Caps 37-19 in that game.
Hey,
so it
had a 2-1 lead.
Yeah, and then that went away.
Lost. Yeah,
that went away. By the way, all the scoring, second period. First period, no goals. Second period, all the goals. Third period, no goals.
And that was at the MCI Center in D.C.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. This was the season opener. It was
Remember
started on the
MCI?
road.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, MCI. One of those many brands that you're like, how old are you if you know what MCI is? If you don't know, that's okay.
Congratulations to Ovi. He's got a lot of money. Probably not as much as Vlad Guerrero Jr. has because he gets a new 14-year, $500 million deal with the Jays. Let him live.
That's a hell of a lot of cash, buddy.
That's a lot of cash.
Now, I'm always confused on where Toronto fits in as a major /
they got money
middle market. That's what I would think.
They got money,
right? Because they are the largest. Well, the largest media market in Canada. I presume the largest city. I don't know by population.
Yes, it's the largest city. It's still one of the largest metro areas in North America.
Of course.
And they are not only just Toronto's team; they are broadcast all around the country.
Right. So I presume the money flows there.
Plus, they're owned by Sportsnet.
Oh yeah, so they should.
So it's not like it's mom and pop. No, they're owned by a big conglomeration.
Well,
conglomeration.
Conglomeration.
Oh, by the way, I also want to point out they gave Vlad Jr. $500 million, which I don't have a problem with. You know, that's the cost of doing business. Don't be a baseball owner if you want to play the game. I got it. This is the same franchise that did not send their radio broadcasters on the road to save money.
Right. And what makes that even more ironic is, as you just said, they are owned by the television network that broadcasts their games. You would think they would want, like, that would be one area where, like, we don't cut corners. Maybe the cheap owners in some other market do that, but we don't do that in Toronto where we own the team. No, they didn't even want to send their own guys. Makes no sense. But yeah, $500 million, let them live. That's
speaking of money.
It's crazy now that I hear that number and go, yeah, well, not the biggest deal I've ever heard of. That's also insane.
Tariffs. A lot of conversation about tariffs.
Mm-hmm.
This is not a political statement. It's just an I'm confused statement.
Okay.
I saw Trump come out today. First of all, he was meeting with the Dodgers today.
Oh, because it's the World Series.
Right, Dodgers were
the
there.
World Series, they're there.
Said Shohei Ohtani's got a bright future, which he does.
Well, yeah. I mean,
I'm just saying,
not wrong.
Trump recognizes talent.
Also bright present.
Well, that's all right.
Yeah.
He knows what's up. Maybe he was saying it in jest.
Okay.
But he said China could get another 50% tariff. And I'm adding it all up.
Okay.
All the tariffs for China.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like it's like 104%. But I'm very confused. So what we did is we went out and we got our tariff expert to help us figure out the percentages of all this stuff.
You know, they say all men are created equal, but you look at me and you look at Small Joe, and you can see that statement is not true. See, normally if you go one-on-one with another wrestler, you got a 50-50 chance of winning. But I'm a genetic freak, and I'm not normal. So you got a 25% at best at beating me. And then you add Kurt Angle to the mix, your chances of winning drastically go down. See, the three-way at sacrifice, you got a 33 1/3 chance of winning. But I got a 66 2/3 chance of winning because Kurt Angle knows he can't beat me, and he's not even going to try. So, Samoa Joe, you take your 33 1/3 chance minus my 25% chance, and you got an 8 1/3 chance of winning at sacrifice. But then you take my 75% chance of winning. If we used to go one-on-one and then add 66 2/3%, I got 141 2/3 chance of winning at sacrifice. See, Joe, the numbers don't lie, and they spell disaster for you at sacrifice.
Thank you.
Scott Steiner, most people don't know this, he's in charge of Health and Human Services now in the United States.
That's right.
Let him live.
Also went to Michigan. That guy right there.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's a brainiac school.
Mm-hmm.
They don't just let anybody in. Got to be smart to go there.
It is the Monday of Masters Week, and I saw that no one is allowed at the course today, I guess because of weather. So,
Yeah.
Timmy, let me ask you a question.
Buyer beware, baby.
You got to get a lottery. You got to, be selected to buy these tickets. Let's say you only get Monday. That's the only ticket.
Done.
You're crap out of luck. They don't
You're
give you tickets
done.
for another day?
No. Everybody knows this, but, Bone and I were talking earlier. There is, I'm not entirely read up about it, but Bone, you were looking into it. The following year, then,
it says
you get in a more prioritized spot. So I'm hoping that if you sign up the same way you signed up for this year's tickets, if you got shunned from a practice round like the folks today, you sign up for Monday, and maybe you even get a better chance to even get a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, like a championship round pass for next year. But yeah, that's the deal. I can still remember, and I'm not even sure if this is allowed because I know they got a lot of rules down there, and whether you can transfer them. Say I win them. I don't know this for sure. Maybe somebody who's been and gone can check me on this. I think you have to be part of the party that goes. Say like I win 4 passes for Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. I think I got to be part of the people that go. If my name and address was on one, because they don't like those moving around. But back in the day, my cousin sold some because he had already been and sold some to like a father and a son from, I think they were from Ohio. And he sold them for $2,000 or something, $1,000 a pop. And they went down and got washed out. And the guy gave like this email back, sort of trying to suggest that my cousin should give some money back. And he just kind of did a digital shoulder shrug. Sorry.
Buyer beware.
Yeah, that money's been spent now. Sorry, guys. Tough.
Yeah. Hey, Livvy Dunne is upset. We're going to tell you why coming up next. Common Man and T-Bone on the Fan.
Fan Traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza in Grandview.
We've got some slower traffic on westbound 670 between 71 and 3rd Street, and construction is causing a delay on westbound 70 on the west side near Hilliard Rome Road. This report is sponsored by Take 5 Oil Change. At Take 5 Oil Change, they get it. Time is precious. That's why they make getting your oil changed fast, friendly, and simple. You'll be back on the road in just 10 minutes. Book ahead or drive in. It's fast either way. Take 5 Oil Change. The stay in your car, 10-minute oil change. I'm Nicole for 97.1 The Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Whiskey War by High Bank Distillery. Drink local. Drink High Bank.
1-800-GOT-JUNK makes space for possibilities.
When our clean, shiny truck arrives, it's the sign of a new beginning, a clean start, a breath of fresh air.
All the animals start giggling, a rainbow appears, and music fills the air.
Your best friend calls with happy news. Every table has fresh flowers on it, and your nights are full of candlelight.
We bring the springtime.
All you have to do is point.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK
or visit 1-800-GOTJUNK.com.
When life is on hold due to a painful injury or condition, every day counts. Start the path to recovery now with Central Ohio's most trusted team of orthopedic experts. Start with orthopedic1.com.
Skyline nachos are back, and now there's a spicy version. Get them with Skyline's cheddar or habanero cheese, topped with fiery jalapeno slices. But hurry, Skyline's regular and new spicy nachos are only at participating restaurants for a limited time.
It's been a great run. Care Heating and Cooling has achieved goals I could only imagine 30 years ago. But now it's time for the next generation to take over. This is Mike Weens, now the retired founder of Care Heating and Cooling with my sons, Dennis and Ryan.
Dad, I remember you saying that a family business should reflect family values, that a customer deserves to be treated with kindness and compassion.
And those values will never change. The reputation you built for being fair and honest is our greatest asset.
In fact, in 2024, Care was awarded a BBB Torch Award for ethics and named the Lennox Partner of the Year.
You don't earn those awards by leaving cat toys behind. It's an honor to continue serving Central Ohio as a locally owned, family-run business.
So, whether you need a tune-up, repair, or just honest advice, Care is here for you.
Call Care Heating and Cooling at 1-800-COOLING or schedule an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com. When you need a company you can trust.
Can I get Mega Millions?
Good choice. Mega Millions is bigger than ever. Jackpots now start at $50 million and grow faster.
Sounds mega.
And now, every game has a built-in multiplier, so all non-jackpot prizes are multiplied between 2 and 10 times.
Bigger prizes, better odds, and just $5? Give me 2.
Mega Millions is bigger and better than ever. Get your tickets today at your local Ohio lottery retailer. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
Get ready to be back in the shoe. The Ohio State Buckeyes football spring game, presented by Union Home Mortgage, kicks off on Saturday, April 12th at noon in Ohio Stadium. Watch as Coach Day and the Buckeyes take the field for an action-packed game day atmosphere. Feel the thrill of game day style reps and the excitement of cheering on our reigning champs. Find out how you can take a photo with a national championship trophy. Only available at BuckeyeExperiences.com. Join us for a celebration of Buckeye football and a preview of what's to come this fall. Tickets start at just $8 and are on sale now at OhioStateBuckeyes.com.
The Buckeyes are national champions. And you listen to it all right here on The Fan. And next year when they do it again, it'll be here on The Fan. And the year after that, well, you know the drill. Always and forever, your home of the Buckeyes. The Fan.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Weston Air Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Does excessive amounts of Prozac make your sack droop down to your knees? Asking for a friend. My friend's name is Mike. Back to Droopy Sack and T-Bone.
Droopy Sack and T-Bone brought to you by the Hinderer Motor Company. Hey, how about some windows, Bone?
Hey, man, you know what? If you've got cold, drafty windows with energy-efficient windows that just don't work, you need energy-efficient windows. That's what you need. You need those. Let me start over. 3, 2, 1, go. You want to replace those cold and drafty windows with energy-efficient windows, and you can get those from our guys at Window Nation. They're built to protect your home with top-quality insulation and seals. They are made right here in the U.S. of A. I don't know if I can stress that enough. Window Nation windows made in the U.S. of A. Plus, you can get 4 windows free with every 4 you buy right now. You can get 0 interest and 0 payments for up to 2 years as well. Pay nothing until 2027 and even get a free entry door when you buy a house full of windows made in the USA. Contact them today, 866-90-NATION to talk to Window Nation. That's 866-90-NATION or go to windownation.com.
But I'm a big fan of LSU gymnast Livvy Dunne.
Yes, you are. As you should be.
No.
Why?
Only because of her athletic prowess. That's all. LSU won the national championship, and she wasn't a big star on that team, but really it's the encouragement that she brings.
She's a leader.
Exactly right. You could tell they feed off of her energy. She's also hot.
I'm aware of that as well.
She is not happy about something. Apparently, they're going to start paying these student athletes, but she says, whoa, wait a second. I didn't agree to anything because what you're offering me is much less than I can go out and make on my own.
Yeah, so the House settlement, the U.S. House of Representatives did a settlement with the NCAA where athletes, former athletes, current athletes are going to get some level of revenue sharing from the amount of money that NCAA generates. Today, in a courtroom in Oakland, California, they are trying to, there's a hearing about this, and a judge is presiding over, various complaints. NCAA athletes had until Friday of last week to file complaints about the settlement. If they didn't agree with it, whatever.
Judge Wapner.
Yeah.
Judge Judy.
Judge
Mills Lane.
That's right. All the above. Let's get it out. The most well-known objector to that is LSU gymnast Livvy Dunne, like you said. She is, I think, on a Zoom call right now in this courtroom. I think this is ongoing. They'll be doing this probably all day, having these discussions. But like you said, her main objection is the way this money was kind of divvied out has been under wraps. They haven't really revealed exactly how they formulated. I think it's like $20.5 million that each school can distribute to their student athletes, however they deem fit. Her contention is, at least in part, she makes $4 million a year in NIL. So if
just her,
yeah, she's obviously wildly popular on the internet. A lot of people follow her on her Instagram.
I certainly don't.
So she is looking at it saying, if you're doing
Obsessed.
Just look.
You don't give her a follow?
You don't click the button like an idiot.
I follow.
Timmy, you don't even follow? Just give her a follow.
Why don't you click the button?
Help the algorithm.
Why do you want to work? Why do you want to get her in the search engine? I just want it coming right to me when I scroll.
I don't want to be that guy.
You are that guy. I hate to break it to you, buddy. You are that guy.
That's true. That is very true. But to be one of those guys and you see
what kind of guys? Guys like us?
Mike Riccardotti follows this person like, oh, yeah, I bet he does.
I'm not ashamed of it.
That's who you are.
I don't understand
doing
Timmy.
that.
I know. It doesn't. Okay.
So
it doesn't make any
sense. You'll gawk at them. You'll talk about how you gawk at them, but you refuse to hit follow?
Yeah.
And somehow you keep some pride?
Makes no sense, does it?
No, it makes no sense.
All right. You know what? I'm going to follow her right now.
You know what? She'll probably
forget about it.
And then she's going to call you out. She'll be like in the Zoom call on this DOJ judge thing.
I just got a follow from Timmy.
Oh, look at this creep from Columbus, Ohio. Says he's hosting the Buckeye show.
Followed by Don Delco and 17 others that you know.
Wow, you just smoked Don Delco out right there. That was nice.
For folks who don't know, about 10 years ago, he managed our website.
Strays. Our guy, Donnie Delco, catching strays from nowhere.
Well, now it's going to say my name right on top when any of you guys go there.
And who cares?
I guess I don't.
Anybody who knows you knows you're a perv.
It's actually surprising that you haven't followed her already, Timmy. I mean, just acknowledge it and say, yeah. Now, if you followed like 800 of them, that like every hot woman you've ever come across on the internet, you're hitting follow, and then
it's a bit much.
And then you're messaging.
Right. That's what I'm talking about.
You can hit a follow on Livvy Dunne and just be like,
former employees here have been known to sort of just like live on those accounts.
Not the same, because that employee that you're talking about would also send messages and comment on the pictures. If you start doing that, then we can have a conversation.
We've had people that work here that some of those filthy accounts that say, give a follow or reply hi for a free nude, and we'll see their name saying, hi, hello.
Hi.
Beautiful.
If you start doing that, then we have a conversation.
Yes, we do.
Listen.
It's a bridge too far.
In general, if you're an adult man and there is a hot woman online.
An adult man.
And you get up in the mornings and you go onto their account, and whatever they've posted that morning, you reply with, hello, gorgeous.
Yeah.
Good to see you this morning.
Don't do that.
Like, reevaluate. That's all we're saying. Just reevaluate. That's not great.
You don't talk to them.
No, you want to give a like, a follow. I get it. I think for me, that's the part where it's like, this is getting a little too creepy. But in either case, back to Livvy Dunne.
Back to her. Back to you, Bone.
Timmy, did you follow her? Are we good?
I did.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I'm in.
All right. The DOJ is coming here now after getting done with this hearing. They're going to go right here to get you. No, but this is essentially, she says, no one knows how you calculated all this money. You're saying $20.5 million is what the NIL is worth for every student athlete, what the payout is for television. How are you formulating this? And how am I, as someone who is maybe a little more well-known than the average gymnast, how am I factoring into that? Maybe I should be making a little more than, say, the rest of the gymnasts. Maybe a star player should be making in basketball a little bit more than the other players on the team, et cetera, and so on. So she is asking for clarity. She's not the only one. I think there were 18 different lawsuits filed.
Well, what was that price tag you just had on her? North of $4 million per year?
That's according to her. She says, I make $4 million a year.
I believe it. I mean, you'd be able to check records on that to see how much, but that's almost getting to 25% of what the entire budget is going to be. So they're not going to have that, be able to have that much blocked out for her when they have football players and men's basketball players, women's basketball players, all the above to pay for. I bet their baseball players make a decent penny at LSU.
Well, part of this to consider is that this was a settlement, right? So some of the players are arguing, we weren't asked if we liked this settlement. You're asking for complaints about the settlement. This was settled by the House of Representatives in the NCAA. None of that involved the athletes. So this is why these lawsuits exist in the first place. She's saying her and other people like her who make a lot of money separately from their NIL and whatever else are saying, what was your formula to come up with this magic number of $20.5 million? What made the overall number
proprietary
what it is?
Math. They're not going to share
they're not sharing that. That's what her problem is. So, you know what? Good for her for standing up to the NCAA.
There's a certain person who writes about the NFL that is in the running for the worst human on earth. And I'm including murderous dictators. Details next. Colin Man and T-Bone on the Fan.
Fan Traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza in Grandview.
We've got some slower traffic on eastbound 270 on the North Outer Belt between 315 and 23. And there's a couple-minute delay on westbound 670 from Grandview Avenue to I-70. This report is sponsored by True Green. We're back in the Miller's Yard, who now use True Green. The lawn started looking like a golf course, and PGA Tour golfers made it their favorite stop. Get a PGA Tour quality lawn for as little as $1 a day at TrueGreen.com. Exclusions apply. See TrueGreen.com for details. I'm Nicole for 97.1 The Fan Traffic.
Yeah, boss asked us to get the Ohio Lottery kiosks ready for the new $20 scratch-off, $2 million extreme cash. With $38 million in total prizes, we had to go big. We had cup holders, monster truck tires, even installed air horns in case somebody reveals the extreme symbol and wins every prize on the scratch-off. Boss thinks the light show's a bit much, but gotta celebrate $2 million top prize winners somehow. So yeah, play $2 million extreme cash from the Ohio Lottery. And if you can tell my boss I did a good job, that'd be cool too. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
The Bobcat National Sales Event is happening now at Bobcat Enterprises. Get up to $10,000 in rebates or choose financing as low as 0% for 60 months on the industry's most comfortable compact loaders. See Bobcat Enterprises in Hilliard, Reynoldsburg, or Zanesville today for incredible savings during the National Sales Event, and find the current specials and full line of products at bobcatent.com.
Some restrictions apply. Length of contract and rate may vary. Offer ends June 30th, 2025.
Bobcat Enterprises, celebrating 50 years of serving you.
Everybody poops, everybody pees. Mommy, will you call Mr. Rooter, please? 'Cause I gotta poop and I gotta pee. Only Mr. Rooter can clear the drain for me. Thank you, Mr. Rooter.
Hi, everybody. We call it what it is at Mr. Rooter. When you have a plumbing or drain problem, the team at Mr. Rooter is ready 7 days a week. Call us today and take advantage of our $95 drain cleaning special. Visit us at MrRooter.com. We'll be there quick.
Hi, Kevin. How's my engine doing?
Well, you tell me, little lady.
What?
Ma'am, an engine is delicate. It's got a lot of parts rubbing together.
Oh, is that so?
Lube her up real nice, and she'll purr like a kitty cat.
How do you know so much about engines?
Well, I spent a lot of time under that hood.
Babe, she is running hot. Let's go. And next time, I get to play the mechanic.
Rev up the romance with Lion's Den, the official store of pleasure, passion, and romance.
Spring into a new vehicle at Crown Automotive Group of Dublin.
Luxury, power, and adventure, all waiting for you.
Explore our vast selection of exquisite Mercedes-Benz, the all-new rugged Ineos Grenadier, and the powerful lineup of Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram vehicles. Crown Automotive Group in Dublin is the only dealership in Columbus awarded a J.D. Power Dealer of Excellence for the customer sales experience. Visit Crown Automotive Group of Dublin on Perimeter Drive in Dublin,
or online at crowncarsdublin.com.
Crown Automotive Group, the better way to buy.
Skyline nachos are back, and now there's a spicy version. Get them with Skyline's cheddar or habanero cheese, topped with fiery jalapeno slices. But hurry, Skyline's regular and new spicy nachos are only at participating restaurants for a limited time.
We're catching up with that famous deep-sea explorer, Jacques Black Jacques. Jacques, where are you today?
In Columbus, how?
You're in Columbus. What could you possibly be exploring in Columbus?
The April showers bring flooding to Batmans.
Oh, I see. Spring rains mean basements are flooding.
This not necessary. Apex Pros.
Not necessary. Call Apex Pros.
A simple zoom pump chick.
I'm sorry, I'm having trouble understanding. Zoom pump check. Sump pump check. Are you saying sump pump check?
Oui.
Yes, of course. A sump pump check from the pros who knows at Apex Pros.
They come to your house.
They come to your house.
They test your zoom pump.
They test your, what is it again?
Zoom pump.
Sump pump, right.
All with a 5-star guarantee.
All with a 5-star guarantee. Now, see, I understood that perfectly.
No doubt about it. Columbus loves Apex Pros. The pros who knows. ApexPros.com.
Hey, Ohio, Prime Sports has arrived, the only book where you can lay 108 instead of 110 on all your favorite teams. Football, baseball, basketball, and hockey. Why would you risk more to win the same amount at another sports book? Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com. Get a welcome bonus to match your initial deposit up to $400 in bonus bets. And be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 and present in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your
Pay today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Come into your local AAA Car Care Plus and save $84 on select sets of Ford Nokian tires. Only at AAA Car Care Plus locations. And on the plus side, AAA members save more. Offer ends April 15th. See store for details.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan.
Good afternoon. I'm Paul Keels. Ohio State had more spring football practice today. Afterwards, head coach Ryan Day revealing some of what Saturday's spring game will look like.
We'll break up offense and defense, and the first part of that will be thud. For some of the guys who have played a lot of football, but we'll be doing that. And then once that happens, after a few drives, we'll get right into it and we'll be tackling. The quarterbacks will not be live.
Of course, you can hear that Saturday right here on The Fan. It's Houston and Florida meeting in college basketball's national championship game tonight. You can hear that here on The Fan just a little before 9 o'clock. Cougars trying for their first ever title. Gators trying for their first since they beat Ohio State in 2007. Heavy rain and thunderstorms force suspension of practice to the Masters today. Forecast the rest of the week looks promising. This update brought to you by RCD RV Supercenter in Heath, Delaware, and Pataskala, or at rcdrv.com. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Did you feel that? It's your radio getting fatter. Getting fatter.
Chubby time!
This is Common Man and T-Bone.
Happy Monday. So glad you're here. Tomorrow, special guest host in the 3 o'clock hour of this show. I'll be here, and Bone will be here.
Yeah.
And Teddy will be here. But we'll have another special member of the show. I'm not going to tell you who it is, but you have to listen to find out. Tell a friend. Could be great, could be terrible. That's tomorrow, 3 o'clock.
I'm excited for it, though.
Yikes Day. 4:30 for that. Jason's Beef with Jason Stark. Just one time for Jason this week. That is coming up at 5:30. I hate, with the white-hot intensity of 1,000 suns, Pro Football Talk's Mike Florio. Here, a little backstory. I hate him so much. All right, once upon a time, I thought I would bite the bullet and be a team player. Because I forget the actual show. I don't know if it was Rothman's show at noon. Yes, it was. It was Rothman was doing the show, and I think at the time he was hosting with Bobby. And Florio was a weekly guest on that show. And there was some sort of thing where they were going to switch times, and Florio couldn't make the time work. And our dumb program director at the time came to us and said, hey, Rothman and Bobby can't talk to Florio anymore, but we'd really like to keep him on the station. Would you be willing to have him on once a week? And I said, at first, absolutely not. But then we tried. Because I didn't want to get the reputation of being difficult, even though I am.
Sure. But also, that was a good thing to do as a radio station employee.
Right.
You thought, who knows, maybe we'll find that we actually enjoy Florio.
I was trying to put lipstick on a pig, homie.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, okay, we'll do it. How bad can it be? Turns out it was so bad. Like, you ever meet a person where just everything that comes out of their mouth you disagree with? Everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's that guy for me. I mean, there are politicians that I think that I hate, and I do. But if it was a choice between them or Mike Florio, I think I'd take them.
Sure.
And you know who I'm talking about, Bone, and that says something.
I know very much what you're talking about.
I'll tell you what.
Also, with Florio, it is as if this man has never in his life, he tells you all the time he's a lawyer by trade. But it's as if he's never had to have an actual argument with someone, because the way he brings things up, you'd think, does this guy not even remember what he said 5 minutes ago? The answer must be clearly no. Because I don't know how you explain inconsistencies like the one you're about to talk about.
So how many weeks did he last with us? 3? 4?
I thought it was like 2. I feel like there was no way we made it out of September with that segment starting in football season. I can't imagine we got out of September.
And then we both said we can't do it anymore.
No.
And he's gone. But he still lives He's on NBC on Sunday night. He still runs Pro Football Talk. He does it all. He wrote this Saturday. Bengals Bears could, in theory, come together and pay for a stadium in Chicago. Here's what he said. New York, okay, New Jersey has 2 teams. Los Angeles has 2. If London ever has 1, it likely will have 2. What about Chicago? The market currently supports 2 teams in the sport that used to be America's pastime. Talking about baseball.
Yeah.
And one of those teams is talking about moving away. Anyway, and with the Bears getting nowhere when it comes to finagling taxpayer funding for a new stadium, the solution could come from having a second team play there.
Okay.
Look.
Okay.
Looky here.
Okay.
Is he... Because we heard from Katie Blackburn last week that they want to get this lease done with the county if they can't get it done. She said theoretically we could go anywhere after next season. They're not going anywhere. That's her talking out of her ass. The county people want to get something done. She wants to get something done. It will get done. There's absolutely no proof or evidence these Cincinnati Bengals are moving out of that area. It's not going to happen. And it's certainly not going to be to Chicago. There's not a report. There's not a whisper. There's not a I'm hearing. None of that. Florio is the first guy to jump on Schefter's balls or anybody else's balls when they dare have an article that he feels is not sourced enough for his liking. He will throw out his journalistic integrity and you're just in bed with agents. They at least are in bed with someone. You're in bed with no one, yet you're floating wild theories. I have seen other various stories citing this one.
Yeah, right.
Citing this one, saying the Cincinnati Bengals may move to Chicago and partner with the Bears on a new stadium based on nothing other than Mike Florio's dumbass opinion looking into a crystal ball.
This is not Mike Florio saying, to give the difference a little more, not him saying, I have talked to sources within the Bengals and the city of Chicago.
Nothing.
I have heard from a well-placed source within the Bengals organization. I have heard from a well-placed source within the Bears. Nothing. It is all him saying that there are 2 types of articles Florio writes. He writes the article that says, someone else reported this, and now I'm linking to it because I'm an aggregator of content, and that's what I do. And then he writes 800 words about whatever that person actually reported. Or he does this thing where he says, in the world of possibilities, this could happen. Also, in the world of possibilities, they could bulldoze Disney World and put an NFL team in Orlando. Is that not, Mike, in the world of possibilities?
Yes, everything is.
Is it likely to happen? Absolutely not. Is there anything indicating that's going to happen anytime soon? No. But Mike Florio is bored on a few weeks before the draft and he needs something to write about, so that's what he does. Which, by the way, not totally out of the world of what we do in 2025 on the internet. The point is Mike Florio is the guy who polices the internet for stories such as these when they don't come from his pen.
Say what you want about what we do. At times we have diarrhea of the mouth and we want to yank the words right back in. We're here 3 hours a day every single day and there's not a lot of net to work with. Mike Florio fancies himself better than everybody, especially better than the talking heads out there that just shoot off their opinions and have no consequences. Yet he shoots off his opinions and actually types it out and publishes it on his own website.
Yeah.
He can't blame an editor or anything like that. He runs the website. I don't understand it. I guess I do because it's him and nothing he says makes sense and he's the model of inconsistency. But I don't get it, Bone.
But how respond? I'm no defender of the Bengals. And Katie Blackburn has said some things in the last week that are pretty indefensible when it comes to
and we talked
running
about
an NFL
them.
Organization. That is all fair game. But I don't understand how anyone could defend this on Florio's behalf, where he is basically saying, it could happen is this, based on me just thinking other big cities have had teams. Let's examine that, by the way, briefly. New York has 2 teams. One, they don't play in the state of New York, but that's fine. They're out in New Jersey. But those 2 teams have been around for a very long time, correct?
Okay. Yes, that's right.
All right. Both those franchises started and have been gathering fan bases long before the internet existed, long before I think our loyalties became quite what they are in sports. Also, if you go to the New York, New Jersey metro area, there is a very clear definition on who tends to be a Giants fan and who tends to be a Jets fan. Usually the Giants fans are also, they are Yankees fans. They are Rangers fans. They have a very clear delineation on who they root for. And then you have a lot of people who root for the Jets, who also root for the New York Mets, who root for the Islanders. That is a unique situation, kind of unlike anywhere else we have in America. LA, meanwhile, they could support two teams. Yeah, as of like 5 years ago, I guess that's true, but it hasn't been the true for most of the last 30 years prior to that. Am I wrong?
No, it just so happens that during the 5 years they've been there, they've won the Super Bowl. One of those teams.
One of them, the other team, routinely is an away game for their home games, right? Now, maybe that'll change with Justin Herbert continuing to be good for the Chargers, but the idea that, like, L.A. has successfully supported two NFL franchises.
Why are we even rationalizing this?
I'm just saying, his own dumb logic is not even good enough to get to this point, let alone what he then did, which is essentially, that's like me and you saying, Mike Florio owns a knife. Mike Florio is a human. Humans don't always like people. Perhaps Mike Florio, sources, I'm thinking he might stab someone sometime in the future. That would be reckless and irresponsible, and I don't think he would ever do that.
Breaking news?
But no. This is what he's doing.
Mike Florio, there's a greater than 0% chance that he will kill Chris Sims at some point.
Right. It's like based on what? Based on what? Your dumb brain put two thoughts together and said that could happen. Yeah, it theoretically could, but it's wildly irresponsible to do that. So, Florio, stop doing it.
Fat Boy Food Tap coming up next. Common Man and T-Bone on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza in Grandview.
You're looking at a couple-minute delay on eastbound 70 on the east side from Hamilton Road to 270. And we've got about a 5-minute slowdown on northbound 71 on the north side between 670 and 11th Avenue. This report is sponsored by Ohio Laborers and Ohio Lesset. The Ohio Laborers Union. They're more than just hard hats and tools. They're the backbone of Ohio's infrastructure, constructing vital projects that shape your communities. Their skilled laborers pave the way for smoother commutes, ensuring safe and efficient travel on Ohio roads and highways. Build Ohio right. Build it Union. I'm Nicole for 97.1 The Fan Traffic.
Yeah, boss asked us to get the Ohio Lottery kiosks ready for the new $20 scratch-off, $2 million extreme cash. With $38 million in total prizes, we had to go big. We had cup holders, monster truck tires, even installed air horns in case somebody reveals the extreme symbol and wins every prize on the scratch-off. Boss thinks the light show's a bit much, but gotta celebrate $2 million top prize winners somehow. So yeah. Play $2 million extreme cash from the Ohio Lottery. And if you can tell my boss I did a good job, that'd be cool too. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
If you've ever sprained a thumb because you can't get this dumb garage door to open, we are Deluxe Door Systems. For 30 years, we've fixed crappy garage doors, straightforward, honest, and for less than you think. DeluxeDoorSystems.com.
If you're struggling with ED or your performance is down and your belly fat is growing, listen up. You've got one life. Now is the time to act.
At the Columbus Men's Clinic, we're not just healthcare, we're your secret weapon. Don't wait another day. Here's why you need to act right now.
Every moment you delay, your condition could worsen. It's not just about sex, it's about your heart, your relationship, your life.
The Columbus Men's Clinic has over 10 years of proven results for low testosterone and increasing drive, energy level, and performance. We've introduced ED and enhancement treatments so exclusive, you'll wonder why you waited.
Procrastination is the thief of time. When it comes to your sexual health, you can't afford to wait. Join the League of Gentlemen who've walked out of our doors with a swagger.
Call the Columbus Men's Clinic at 614-300-7400 or visit columbusmensclinic.com. Book your $99 male performance consultation now, including blood work. Call 614-300-7400 or visit columbusmensclinic.com. The Columbus Men's Clinic, making it happen.
Bo Bishop here. High Bank Distillery Co. is the most awarded distillery in America at the 2024 San Francisco World Spirits Competition. Stop by your local liquor store to grab a bottle, or the 3 restaurant locations in Gahanna, Grandview, or Westerville. Dine, drink, distill at High Bank.
It's a different world today than it was 30 years ago when I started Care Heating and Cooling. This is Mike Weens, now the retired founder of Care Heating and Cooling with my sons, Dennis and Ryan.
Dad, 30 years ago, you were the first to warn of companies using service technicians as salespeople, of abusing the trust that a service technician has. With the big conglomerates now buying companies all over Central Ohio, this has become the normal business model.
It's all about greed. The conglomerates know they can make a lot more money by incentivizing their technicians to sell furnaces instead of fixing them. They train their techs to take advantage of a customer when they are the most vulnerable.
Dad, that is not how we were taught. In 2024, Care Heating and Cooling was awarded a BBB Torch Award for ethics and was named the Lennox Partner of the Year. You don't earn those awards by leaving cat toys behind.
Call Care Heating and Cooling at 1-800-COOLING or schedule an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com. When you need a company you can trust.
The Fan app is about to become your new best friend. Your one-stop shop for all your favorite fan shows. ESPN Columbus and BetQL. Live or on demand, listen on your schedule. Download the 97.1 The Fan app today. It's free. Do it.
When divorce puts your life's work on the line, Cordell & Cordell is ready to help you protect it. As a business owner, you've dedicated years building a legacy now at risk due to divorce. Let our experienced family law attorneys fight for you and that legacy. Cordell & Cordell is one of the nation's largest family law firms. Call to schedule your consultation today.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Columbus area attorneys. 10 West Broad Street, Suite 1550, Columbus, Ohio, 43215. CordellCordell.com.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for mouth-watering meals and appetizing ingredients. Our low prices add up to big savings, plus over $600 in digital coupons each week, and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. At Kroger, you always get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
We've lowered prices. You can save 15% or more on hundreds of items like Thomas Mini Bagels, Campbell's SpaghettiOs, and more. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Steel walk behind, zero turn, and stand on mowers are built to get the job done. Shop online or at your local Steel dealer. Steel, let's go mow.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Sunshine giving way to a few clouds, breezy and mild. Chance of a shower on this Monday evening. Temperatures in the mid-50s. Overnight down to the mid-20s. Windy and colder with a freeze warning in effect. Plenty of sunshine Tuesday, but still brisk with highs only in the low to mid-40s. With your 10 weather impact forecast, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz on The Fan.
ESPN Bet is the official sports book of Common Man and T-Bone. On your phone or in person at Hollywood Casino Columbus. The Fan.
Come for the obesity, stay for the anger. This is Common Man and T-Bone.
Fish has handed me the plug sheet for tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, Morning Juice, Anthony Schlegel. He'll be on at 6:30. 10:30, Bishop and Friends tomorrow. Tuesdays with Dom Taberry. Talks about all the money he's lost recently. Plus, Jody Shelley will join at 11:30. And then this show tomorrow, 3 o'clock hour, top of the show, right at 3 o'clock. We're going to have a special guest host in that 3 o'clock hour. Not going to tell you who it is, but it's a big deal. If you're guessing Rimmer, you're wrong.
No, it's not Rimmer.
Someone much bigger than him, and it's someone who's never been on this show before.
That's right.
All right? That is tomorrow, 3 o'clock. Fatboy Footy!
Common Man and T-Bone have very little value unless they're telling you about all the crap they can shove in your mouth so you can die quicker. It's time for Fat Boy Food Tip. Wait, how do you want me to say it? Tip. This is dumb. I quit.
Sponsored by Metal Supermarkets. Visit metalsupermarkets.com/Columbus for all your metal needs.
Teddy, you brought us in a little treat today. It was a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup, but it was the PB&J Reese's Peanut Butter Cup. Mm-hmm. One strawberry and one grape. I had not had this yet, so cracked it open. This was not the big cup. This is a regular size. I think they do it in the big cup as well.
Oh, my gosh. Those were regular size, weren't they?
Yeah. They're just small.
I don't know why in my head I was thinking that was like a little half-size one.
They seem small, don't they?
This is the problem I've had with Oreos lately, too, where I eat the double stuff so often now when I get a regular Oreo, I'm like, oh, are these the thins? And it's just the regular Oreo. All right. Yes, so you brought us those, but they were out of one of those packs like you would get if you were doing Halloween candy, where you would just give them out to the,
like 12 packs.
The single-wrapped ones is what you gave us.
So we tried a grape one and a strawberry one. I liked the strawberry one better than the grape one. They were both good, but I don't need them. Like if someone said, hey, do you want this or a regular one? I'd take the regular one the whole time, every time.
Yeah, I think they're definitely worth a try if you're someone who's had like every variety of Reese's and you like to, you've had them, you're going to keep eating Reese's peanut butter cups. You just want to try something new. They're good. I personally thought the strawberry had way more flavor than the grape. Didn't get as much. I actually could smell when I opened the strawberry one up, I could smell it. Like the strawberry jam.
You know what it is? Jam. It's the real strawberries that I'm sure they use. Fresh fruit is what you're smelling.
Now, if you're wondering how messy is something like this is like
not at all.
No, it's like the fruit filling you would get in like those juicy fruit thing. What am I trying to say?
I have no idea what you're trying to say.
Those snacks you used to bite into? Gushers.
Gushers?
That's it. It's like that kind of like it's gelatinous.
It's not as liquidy as that.
No, but it's gelatinous. It's going to stay in place is what I'm saying. But yeah, they were fine. They definitely weren't. I like the Reese's Pieces peanut butter cups better. I have had the caramel Reese's cups. Those I like better. Then these would fall somewhere after that. But they were fine. And thank you, Ted, for bringing them in because they were delicious.
You're welcome.
Thank you,
I
Ted.
enjoyed them.
You suck.
I'll get you something next year.
There you go. Perfect. Mike, I found a list of the top 10 casual dining chains. And I bring this to your attention because, one, I don't think we've ever really talked about what are the top 10 casual dining chains in the United States. But also, there was a change at the top. For the first time since 2018, there's a new restaurant.
Hit me with it.
At number 1. All right. Starting at number 10, Ted's favorite place, one of Red Robin. Yum. That they did $1.4 billion in sales in the U.S. last year.
By the way, we don't know if any of these numbers are good. Like Red Robin's in the top 10. They could be losing money and firing people. I have no idea.
Well, I can tell you this. It's a percent. I can give you the percent of sales change from year over year.
Okay.
So the year before they were up. They are down 4.2% year over year.
I assume that's bad.
Doesn't seem great. However, the one right ahead of them, worse. Number 9, Red Lobster.
Red Lobster's having some problems. I think Blake Griffin's going to solve all of them.
$1.6 billion in sales last year. They are down 22% from 2023 to 2024.
Not good.
Next up, number 8 on the top 10 casual dining chains. As far as sales in 2024 last year in the U.S., Cheesecake Factory, $2.6 billion, 2.6% up from the year before. Outback Steakhouse at number 7, $2.7 billion. They are down 3.9% from the year before. Longhorn Steakhouse at 6 with over $3 billion in sales. Buffalo Wild Wings cracks your top 5, $4 billion in sales. Both those restaurants are up over the previous year. Applebee's is at $4.1 billion in total sales last year. That is down 5% from the year prior. In at number 3, Chili's.
I was going to say, where's my Chili's?
It's right there at number 3, Chili's Grill and Bar.
I do like Chili's.
Yeah, do a good job over there.
Yeah, they do a good job.
$4.5 billion in sales. They are up 15% from the year before. One of the biggest positive changes.
All right, hold on now. I didn't
list.
see this list. So what are we up to? We got 2 more, right?
Yeah, Chili's was 3rd. There's 2 left. And I told you one of these 2 was number 1.
Olive Garden's got to be someplace on here.
You are correct. Olive Garden is number 2.
They used to be number 1?
They were number 1 every year from 2018 until this past year where they dropped down to number 2. They did $5.1 billion in sales.
It can't be TGI Fridays because they closed so many locations.
It's not TGI Fridays.
Give me another. What am I missing?
There's a place that's one of the places I listed on here is similar to this type of place in many ways. They're not totally the same, but in the same wheelhouse. Actually, there's a couple of them.
All right, just tell me what it is.
Well, I was thinking Longhorn Steakhouse is at number 6.
I like Longhorn, too.
Longhorn's good. Texas Roadhouse.
Texas Roadhouse, that's
is
right.
number 1 in the U.S., $5.4 billion in sales, 14% positive change from the year before. And I'll tell you, Texas Roadhouse, I mean, we have one near us. We go quite often. I don't know why more restaurants don't do this. A lot of them do have, like a carry-out thing. Texas Roadhouse, we get this deal all the time. They got like a $40 family meal that feeds a family of 5, at least our family of 5. Chicken tenders, you can get it with ribs, you can get it with whatever you want. And then you get some sides, we get some corn, some of their fries that we get. They give you a big old salad, all the rolls and butter you can want.
How many tenders do they give you?
I mean, it's like 20 or 25. It's a significant amount.
All right, here's why I asked.
We have leftovers after we all eat our fill, and we have leftovers for the next day.
Wow, that's saying something.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so last week, I was driving home. It was rainy. The girls had something going on. And I said, what are we doing for dinner? And Samantha really wanted Popeyes.
Great.
So I stop at Popeyes on the way home, which I normally don't do for dinner time, but they have the family meals. So I got the 12 tender family meal.
Yeah.
So 12 tenders comes with 12 tenders, 2 large sides.
That's good.
We opted with mac and cheese, which they charge you an extra $1 for. I don't know why.
Okay.
And red beans and rice. It comes with 6 biscuits.
Okay.
All right. So that's a nice amount
That's
of
a
food.
good amount of food, yeah.
Right. But that's $40.
Oh.
For all of that stuff. You're telling me you get 20 chicken tenders at Texas Roadhouse?
At least 20. It's probably more like 25. I've never sat there and counted them. I don't know if they do it by weight, but it comes in one of those big, like the big silver trays.
Yeah,
like
catering
tray, yeah. They put that and the fries in there, and then your like tub of corn, or if you get mashed potatoes and gravy, they put all that in one thing.
That's quite the
Close
deal.
that up, and then they give you a second tin that's got your salad in it, just the salad. And then on top of that, they give you like a bag full of rolls, all the butter, and
I mean that's no Der Dutchman turkey deal for you, but that's pretty good.
Speaking of, when did Der Dutchman over the weekend? Took the girls to go
breakfast buffet.
We went breakfast buffet.
Still have never done the breakfast buffet.
Well, we had a little incident there because we got there a little late. We got there at about 10:15, right?
You're flouting the rules now, T-Bone.
Well, no. We ordered breakfast, and I said, how long is the breakfast buffet going on? They said, it goes till 11:30. And I said, okay, great. So I'm eating my breakfast. Kids are eating theirs. Kids are going back up, getting seconds. I go up, get seconds. At one point, my oldest comes back, and she's got chicken tenders, mac and cheese, and the noodles.
Double dipping.
And I said,
double dip.
Where'd you get that? She goes, they got lunch out. And I said, yeah, honey, I bet they do. We bought the breakfast buffet.
We didn't pay for lunch.
We paid for the breakfast.
Breakfast is cheaper than lunch.
And she had like a mortified look on her. She's like, oh no. What happens now? Do we get arrested? And I'm like, well, no, you can eat it.
She threw it all on the floor.
The waitress then kind of walked by and just kind of gave us a look. And I was like, don't acknowledge. Just eat your food and let's get out of here. But we'd already paid the bill. I paid a lot of money. It's fine. We enjoyed it. It was good food.
Yeah, you stole food.
I didn't mean to.
The poor Amish.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Look at them.
They're doing so poorly there. Got a 20-minute wait just to get a seat.
Well, you got them fired last time with the Thanksgiving turkey.
Well, I didn't do that. My wife did. My wife ordered turkey a couple years ago, and she comes back and said it was like $20 for 10 pounds of turkey. And I'm like,
10 pounds of cooked turkey.
Yes, cooked, prepared. And I said, how was it $20? She goes, I don't know. That's just what the deal was on the website.
And
we looked this year, and it was like, no, it was like $120 is what it was.
Yeah,
it's like,
look,
it makes way more sense.
There's not year-to-year inflation. Some dumb Amish who was running the website got fired that day.
Yeah, it had to be a glitch on the website. And I wonder to this day how many people got to take advantage of that. Because that seriously could have put a dent in their business that year. I mean, if you had like 200 people get that deal, that's not an insignificant amount of turkey.
All right, yikes. Oh, crap.
Oh, boy.
This show sucks. Yikes. Coming up in 2 minutes, Colin Man and T-Bone on the Fan.
Fan Traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza in Grandview.
You're going to hit some slowdown due to an accident that's on westbound 670 at 3rd Street. We also have some holdup due to a crash that's on the right shoulder of northbound 71 on north side at Cook Road. Police are on scene there, adding to that delay. This report is sponsored by Lotto.com. Feeling lucky? Lotto.com has digital scratch tickets, tons of games, and instant fun. Scratch now on Lotto.com. Must be 18 or older to play the lottery. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. I'm Nicole for 97.1 The Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by RCD RV Supercenter in Heath, Delaware, and Pataskala, or at rcdrv.com.
Hi, Kevin. How's my engine doing?
Well, you tell me, little lady.
What?
Ma'am, an engine is delicate. It's got a lot of parts rubbing together.
Oh, is that so?
Lube her up real nice, and she'll purr like a kitty cat.
How do you know so much about engines?
Well, I spent a lot of time under that hood.
Babe, she is running hot. Let's go. And next time I get to play the mechanic,
Rev up the romance with Lion's Den, the official store of pleasure, passion, and romance.
Look, there's feelings, and then there's the facts. If you're feeling like your finance team is bogged down in mundane manual tasks, the fact is, you need Ramp. Ramp is the corporate card that makes the expense process fast and easy. The moment your team makes a purchase, Ramp handles everything. Receipt collection and approvals, the works. With Ramp, you can cut your month-end close from 5 days to 1, customize approval workflows, and get complete control over every transaction. Facts. Over 25,000 businesses trust Ramp, including Shopify and the Boys and Girls Club of America, which is why they were just named #1 in spend management by G2. Facts. Start using Ramp and you'll have more time to spend scaling your business. And that'll feel really good. Upgrade to Ramp for free today and get $250 at ramp.com/radio. Ramp.com/radio. That's ramp.com/radio.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank, members of FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Common Man and T-Bone is sponsored by the Hinderer Motor Company. We love what moves you. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Just be glad you aren't as stupid as these two.
Oh, yes.
This is Common Man and T-Bone.
Hey, subscribe to the podcast of this stupid show. It's available wherever you get your audio. Just search Common Man and T-Bone. Click. Subscribe. Every single show comes right to your device free of charge. The podcast is brought to you by our friends, Care Heating and Cooling. Tomorrow, to start the show, top of the 3 o'clock hour, we have a special guest host with you. For the 3 o'clock hour, it's me and Bone and Teddy and someone else. It's not Rimmer. It's not Timmy Hall, because that's not special at all. Someone who's never been on the program before and may never come back, depending on how tomorrow goes.
Oh.
But,
hey, gross economy. Maybe it's him.
No, it's not.
You don't think it's
not
former President Biden?
President Joe Biden. It's not him.
There's a lot of people here. Hey.
How you doing there, Prez?
Oh, you good guys. Brand new week.
Who's going to win?
Special person.
Who's going to win tonight, Prez?
Well, I think both teams could play well. Everybody's, national championship, got to go to bed.
Yes, Houston. It starts late tonight. Houston and Florida. Will you be staying up to watch it tonight, Mr. President?
My old friend Jim Nantz once said, "If I slam a jamma, if I slam tonight."
So
go Cougars.
So Houston's what you're going with?
Yo, Houston, Hakeem, let him on the court.
They wouldn't let him on the stage. They didn't let him on there. What's going on there? That's no good.
What is that? Hakeem the Dream can't get on the
line.
Hold on a second. I didn't hear about this.
Yeah, he was trying to get onto
it's no joke.
Like the
that's
area
enough out of you.
They were they were celebrating, and there's a stage, right? And he wanted to go up there.
They prevented Hakeem Olajuwon from getting on the court?
Yes,
you got me,
they
man.
did.
Oh, my God.
Right.
Yeah.
How ridiculous is that?
What did we just saw another loose example of that, did we not, Bone?
Well, with Will Howard.
Oh, okay,
with the national championship game. Now, he eventually, I think, got up there, but
that was because of a limitation, like a weight limit on the actual stage.
Right, but it's like he's the damn quarterback of the national champion winning team. Let him on the stage to hoist the trophy with all those guys. And they were like, sorry, buddy, we got too many on here. It's like,
Denzel Burke, you get down.
Yeah,
Will's got to get up now.
I don't want to tell any player to get off there necessarily, but he's the starting quarterback. He should probably get up there.
There are certain people for certain programs that are untouchable. And I would assume that, like, if Eddie George calls Friday night at midnight,
you hook him up with whatever he needs.
Hey, I know it's short notice. The game's tomorrow at noon, but can I get some field passes for me and my family? It's Eddie George.
You get 4, 6, whatever you need.
Hakeem Olajuwon says, I want to come on the court and celebrate with these guys. He comes on the court.
Yeah, and all it was that he didn't have a proper media credential or something.
That.
Yeah, this just the court. It's a melee. Everybody's out there. You think they're stopping Coach K if Duke wins because he doesn't have the proper credential around his neck? Him or Clyde Drexler, they go wherever they want to go.
God, I mean, again, I know we know this about Hakeem, but like played for Houston in college, very successful.
Yes.
Then
won 2 titles for the Rockets.
Then drafted by the Rockets and had a Hall of Fame career there, wins them 2 championships. And then, I mean, it's like 20 years in one city where it's like, oh, yeah, that guy helped us win in college, helped us win the pros. One city.
Right.
That guy can't get on the he can't be a part of your celebration.
It feels
for his
like
alma mater.
It feels like it's Houston's time with those 2 losses with that team back to back in the 80s. One of them to Jimmy V and some of the most famous imagery in college basketball history, where he's got no one to hug and Wittenberg throws it to Charles, air ball, he dunks it in. And Sampson has had this program so good for about a 5-year period now. Feels like it's time for them.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be apropos to Indiana starting fresh?
Yet again.
Who the hell are we going to get? Calvin Sampson
And here's
goes out and wins the national championship.
He's just as good a coach as there is in the country.
Absolutely.
All right, yikes time. Audrey Snyder has been let go by The Athletic. Why is this notable? She was Penn State's football full-time beat writer, or as a dope who used to work here used to say, beat writer.
Right.
It sucks when someone gets let go because of cost cutting, but unfortunately, that's a reality of the journalism business. But she also dropped a bit of a bombshell. The Athletic is apparently no longer interested in having someone cover Penn State football full time. Yikes. Does that say more about The Athletic or the demand of Penn State coverage at this point? Can you imagine making that type of decision with Ohio State coverage? Anything's possible, I guess, but yikes.
Former Division I basketball player Colin Granger, who played basketball at Ohio, West Carolina, and Coastal Carolina most recently, has been signed by a pro team. Thing is, it's not in the NBA, it's in the NFL. The Carolina Panthers have signed the 6'8", 245-pounder to their football team. Now, I call this a yikes because while there have been plenty of guys who transitioned from playing college basketball who went on to have successful NFL careers, especially as tight ends, Tony Gonzalez, Antonio Gates, Jimmy Graham all come to mind. Granger hasn't played football since the 8th grade. Yikes. Not saying he can't make it happen, but you're talking a solid, almost 8 to 10 years that this guy hasn't played meaningful contact football. Good luck in camp, buddy. Yikes.
On Friday night, the Reds, they finally snapped that scoreless streak and avoided a 4th consecutive shutout. Yikes. They had gone 35 innings without scoring a run. Yikes. They still lost the game 3-2. Yikes. They also lost that series to the Brewers, which means they have lost 11 consecutive series to the Brewers. Yikes.
Alex Ovechkin is the all-time goal leader. Yay. This resulted in some good news for hockey fans as PK Subban was invited on to First Take to talk about it this morning. Some good news for the sport, no? Mm-hmm. Even I flipped it on this morning to see what type of hot take we would get. And almost like it was a prereq to come on the show, Subban decided to tell us that LeBron is good, but he's not Michael or Kobe. Yikes. Here's hoping he stuck around for the next segment as they destroyed more of our brain cells by discussing Joe Milton's impact on the Dallas Cowboys. Yikes.
There is a bettor right now sitting on a 23 legs parlay in Vegas. Here are some of the things that he bet on. He has the Magic and the Celtics game from January 17th. He took Paolo Banchero to score 20-plus points for the Magic and Kristaps Porzingis to score 15 points for the Celtics. Things like that are in here. The Texans to cover the 14.5 points in their game against the Chiefs on January 18th, their playoff game. So he won that. He had Providence getting 8.5 against Villanova back on January 17th. That happened. Took Indiana to getting 7.5 points against the Ohio State Buckeyes. That went his way too. Lots of other things had to happen. Anyway, he now has only 2 things left. He just had UConn winning the national championship in women's basketball. His bet was 73 cents. 21 of the 23 legs have hit. If these final 2 legs hit, he stands to win $46,000. Yikes. The 2 legs are the Winnipeg Jets to win the Central Division in the NHL. They are currently up 3 points in that division with a handful of games remaining. And the Dodgers to win the World Series in 2025. His payout right now is $6,500.
I'd cash it.
I'd cash it too, but maybe I'll wait to see if the Jets pull it out. Anyway, good luck to him and yikes.
I thought T-Bone might like this, yikes, since it deals with the NBA. I saw the stat comparing the numbers of games that Joel Embiid has played to the number of games played by Carmelo Anthony since 2014. 2014, that was Embiid's first season in the league. Now, Carmelo, he retired. He hasn't played the last 3 seasons, so keep that in mind, all right? Now, Carmelo, he's played 470 games since 2014. Embiid, he's played only 452 games since then. Yikes.
Wow. That is something, Teddy. That's pretty good.
The Cadbury cream egg is a polarizing subject, like myself. Many people love them, and other people are very, very stupid. I've enjoyed quite a few this Easter season, but I'd love to get my hands on this baby. Cadbury has unveiled the world's largest cream egg. Yikes. It is 3 feet tall and weighs, wait for it, 100 pounds. Yikes. And the only thing fake about it is the foil wrapper, only because they couldn't figure out how to make an actual one big enough. It is all chocolate and goo. Perfectly edible. It's on display in the UK until later this month. Cadbury says no one's going to be allowed to eat it even after it's off display. I say we show up and see if we can persuade them. Yikes.
Taylor Swift's song, Our Song, has reached 400 million streams on the streaming platform Spotify. Yikes. It is her 73rd song that has gotten more than 400 million streams on Spotify. Yikes. That's insane when you factor in that 99% of artists never get 100 million streams, let alone 400, let alone having 73 songs that have done that. Also, that's not counting Apple Music, YouTube, and all the other places you can listen to music. She's also had a concert tour that was, I think, wildly successful. And, I don't know how she's not like a multi-billionaire. Crazy, and yikes.
Now, Duke, they had quite the meltdown there at the Final Four in their Final Four loss against Houston the other night. They blew a 14-point lead over the final 8 minutes, and they only scored one basket over the last 10.5 minutes of the game. Yikes. Duke became the only team to have an NCAA tournament game with a higher field goal percentage, more free throw attempts, more assists, fewer turnovers, and more steals than their opponent, and yet they still lost the game. Yikes. Teams in that situation had been 335-0 when doing that during a tournament game. You hate to see it, don't you? Yikes.
Jack Nicklaus gets to be himself again. I'll explain why coming up next. Common Man and T-Bone on the Fan.
Fan Traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza in Grandview.
We've got some slower traffic that's causing a 5-minute delay on eastbound 70 on the east side from James Road to 270. And we've got a small slowdown on southbound 315 between 670 and Town Street. This report is sponsored by Ohio 811. Call before you dig. Contact Ohio 811 at least 48 hours before you dig. It's easy to do, and it's the law. Centerpoint Energy, Columbia Gas, Duke Energy, and Enbridge Gas want you to dig safely. Contact Ohio 811 every time you dig. I'm Nicole for 97.1, The Fan Traffic.
When your sump pump is no longer sumping and pumping, please don't become a sump pump grump.
A sump pump grump thinks whacking the pump will make it start working again.
But it never does.
Get Eco.
ECO. A sump pump grump will let a faulty sump pump completely ruin a perfectly good day.
Fortunately, I've invented a solution.
No more sump pump grump?
No more sump pump grump.
Get Eco.
ECO. Tell me about it, Jerry.
The solution is that you get Eco to do a sump pump inspection.
What would that include?
We check your pump, your battery backup, and all the downspouts and drains along the way to make sure everything is running clear.
How much?
That's up to you, Aaron.
Jerry, Eco would be happy to do that for just $89.
That's a great price.
Get Eco.
ECO. Eco plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians.
Go to geteco.com.
If your garage door is moodier than your emo teenager after a breakup, we are Deluxe Door Systems. For 30 years, we've fixed crappy garage doors, straightforward, honest, and for less than you think. DeluxeDoorSystems.com.
Spring into a new vehicle at Crown Automotive Group of Dublin. Luxury, power, and adventure, all waiting for you. Explore our vast selection of exquisite Mercedes-Benz, the all-new rugged Ineos Grenadier, and the powerful lineup of Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram vehicles. Crown Automotive Group in Dublin is the only dealership in Columbus awarded a J.D. Power Dealer of Excellence for the customer sales experience. Visit Crown Automotive Group of Dublin on Perimeter Drive in Dublin or online at crowncarsdublin.com. Crown Automotive Group, the better way to buy.
Hear that? That's the sound of saving a good deal more when you shop with M-Perks at Meijer. Some delicious blueberries, money saved. A creamy treat of cookie dough ice cream, that's money saved. Savings, savings, savings. Because every dollar spent is also 10 points earned in M-Perks, which you can use to save on your next grocery trip or up to $1 off per gallon on your next tank of gas. At Meijer, we work hard to help you save a good deal more for a whole lot less. That's bringing more good to life. Exclusions apply. See mperks.com for details.
Can I get Mega Millions?
Good choice. Mega Millions is bigger than ever. Jackpots now start at $50 million and grow faster.
Sounds mega.
And now, every game has a built-in multiplier, so all non-jackpot prizes are multiplied between 2 and 10 times.
Bigger prizes, better odds, and just $5? Give me 2.
Mega Millions is bigger and better than ever. Get your tickets today at your local Ohio lottery retailer. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
Here's 3 reasons to buy your Blue Jackets ticket plans for the 25-26 season. 1, pick your seat and pick your games. 2, plans start at just 11 games. 3, priority access to Stanley Cup playoff tickets. Act now. Visit bluejackets.com/tickets.
The Buckeye Show.
I'm never going to be I would rather lose every game of the season if I can beat Michigan. That's absurd. So you're just an idiot.
The Buckeye Show.
Presented by Coors Light and sponsored by CareSource.
Weeknights at 6 on The Fan.
The Columbus Men's Clinic opened in 2014 for guys who get it done. Let's talk, fellas. You solve problems all day at work. You fix your sink when it's broken. But when it comes to ED and low T, it doesn't get done. We get it. You hate going to the doctor, but you're the guy that fixes things. At the Columbus Men's Clinic, there's nothing to fear and no reason to delay. We've been destroying bedroom boredom for a decade. So if you haven't fixed this, call us. When the pills fail, call us. If you feel like you've tried everything, call us. Here, there's hope. From the conventional to the next level. You'll be seen by our friendly, discreet physician who will take the time to listen. Imagine finally taking care of this with no surgery. Imagine going from feeling gray to living life in vibrant color. It's time to be confident. Join the thousands of guys who have found success after walking through our doors. Will you be one of them? Dial 614-300-7400 or go to ColumbusMen'sClinic.com to schedule a $99 male performance consultation, including blood work. Do it for you. Do it for her. ColumbusMen'sClinic.com. Book your appointment now.
The Fan Poll is brought to you by Caster Connection. Visit CasterConnection.com to shop online or to work with our Caster Solution specialists.
Objects in radio may be dumber than they appear. This is Man and Bone.
Jason's beef with our guy Jayson Starr coming up at 5:30. And no, we're not going to talk to him twice this week and ask him the same questions. Just the one time will do. Tomorrow, as the show starts, 3 o'clock, we're going to have a special guest host in that 3 o'clock hour. I'm going to be here, Bone's going to be here, but somebody else will be here too. And no, it's not Jeff Rimmer, because God knows I wouldn't be so mysterious about that.
No. Well, why would you need to be? That's not, no offense to Rims, it's not a big enough guest.
Is it Jack Nicklaus? It could be.
Oh, what would that sound like?
Hey, how you doing there? Glad to be on the show. How are you?
I'm good, Jack. You ready for the memorial coming up in a few weeks?
I'm ready for it, yeah.
All right.
What about the Masters, Jack? I know you're going to do the ceremonial first tee on Thursday.
Absolutely. I'm going to be down there, put on my green jacket, and have some egg salad. Love a good egg salad.
What about that Champions Dinner and Scotty's menu? Some good things.
A lot of cholesterol on that menu. I don't know if I can have that at this time in my life.
How do you feel about a pimento cheese? You enjoy the pimento cheese?
Love a good pimento cheese.
Okay, that's good.
Does Barb like pimento cheese?
Barb loves it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I've been around a long time, Timmy.
Yes, you have, Jack.
Long time. I remember when they didn't let any black people at Augusta.
Oh, that's right.
Now they let them in, but they give them the side eye.
It's a dark day. Dark part of our history.
Yeah.
That's right.
What about this stuff that's happening to Tiger, Jack? You hate to see that, don't you?
I hate
the
to
injuries.
See it. That's too bad. Tore his Achilles tendon. Certainly wasn't me sneaking up behind him with an X-Acto knife.
Don't want him to catch the major championship record, right, Jack?
No, you'd be like Gretzky out there with Ovechkin. You'd just be out there if he won and took over your record. You'd shake his hand and say,
"Hey, Jack, how many majors have you won?"
I've won a good 4,000 of them there.
Nice. How many times have you won that Masters?
Why are you putting me on the spot there, Timmy?
He's got golf courses to build. Stop asking him questions.
Yeah.
Come on.
All right, Jack Nicklaus has secured the right to use his own name, image, and likeness after being involved in a lawsuit brought against him by the company he founded, Nicklaus Companies, LLC. To secure such rights, according to Jason Lusk of Golf Week.
Jason Lust?
Lusk.
Oh, Lusk. I thought you said Lust.
L-U-S-K.
I was like, it's an interesting website there, Jason Lust.
So Nicklaus Companies, which is owned by New York-based banker Howard Milstein. So I guess he founded the company with Jack. They had a falling out.
Okay.
Milstein still owns the trademarks for the company, can continue to do business such as selling clothing and equipment with the Nicklaus name and logos, including Golden Bear. He can also continue to design golf courses under the Nicklaus banner without participation. But Nicklaus now is allowed to design golf courses under his own name and likeness. So you could be playing. Here's the thing. Milstein said, I essentially bought you. Yeah. I bought your name and likeness. I gave you a cash settlement. You have no right to use your own name when it comes to designing golf courses or selling T-shirts or anything. Nicklaus said, it's my name. If I want to design a golf course with my name,
I don't blame him.
I should be able to use it.
I can understand that.
So they went to court, and they decided, yes, Jack, you can do that. You can design golf courses. You can get paid for doing that. However, this other guy still owns your likeness and can do the same.
So let me just see if I understand this. This, what's his name, Milstein?
Howard Milstein.
Howard Milstein. He has presumably golf course architects on staff for his company.
Correct.
They can go out to an unclaimed property, some golf courses, renovate our course, do it up. We want a Jack Nicklaus
and
course.
It can be marketed as a Jack Nicklaus designed golf course.
But Jack Nicklaus will have never set foot there.
That is correct.
Possibly.
There could be a golf course down the street that Jack has actually done.
Yeah.
And I don't know what they call that, like the real Nicklaus course, not the fake one.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, so you could go be like, oh, yeah, we're playing a Jack Nicklaus designed course. Was Jack ever here? No, he's never been here. And he didn't design this at all. But it's called a Jack Nicklaus. That's just bizarre to me. I get owning the rights to the Golden Bear and the T-shirts and T-shirts, the polos. It's a brand name. I understand that. That's very different, though, than I designed this. I'm Jack Nicklaus. Oh, wait, I'm not Jack Nicklaus. I'm the company formerly known as Jack Nicklaus.
I know, it's very confusing.
So bizarre. If I were Howard Milstein, what I would maybe do if I felt, because he lost this, right? He was trying to win.
Yes, he was trying to say, no, Jack does not have the right to even go out and profit off of golf courses that he designs, because I bought that from him. I bought that right.
I understand from the business side. That just is wild to me. However, if I were this guy and I were also a very petty person, what I would do is been like, oh, yeah, I'm designing a golf course next week, and then just have the most ridiculous design of like, oh, hey, this looks like it's all paved with asphalt, and there's just 18 holes in this asphalt. Yeah, yep. That's our new Jack Nicklaus course design. It's called Flat. Enjoy. And then I'd be like, yeah, this is a Jack Nicklaus course. There you go. Old man, you want to go back on our deal? Well, I'm going to screw you with these golf course designs. Maybe that's what he has to do.
It is not uncommon for stars to essentially do things and get credit for things they don't actually do. Like that James Patterson dude, the writer, the author.
Yeah.
Now, he sits in a room and somebody pitches an idea to him like, hey, time machine at a 7-Eleven, and you pull a secret lever and you eat a Frito and you go back to the 1800s. He's like, I like that idea.
Right.
Let's write it. And by let's write it, one of my minions will write it, put my name on it, like I wrote it, even though I didn't write it, and sell 9 trillion copies of it.
That's fair, but I would presume even there, like some other person isn't like, I own the name James Patterson. James Patterson is no longer allowed to use this name.
Well, fair enough.
Right? Like that's this situation, which is so interesting to me. James Patterson theoretically shows up to his office once every 6 months, and he's pitched ideas, and then he says, go with that one. I don't know. Like, I'm sure Oprah has had things that are like, her name's been slapped on them, but she's not like, oh, yeah, I designed this, or she probably gets told, like, here's some things we came up with, Oprah. Which of these do you like? And she goes, oh, that cookbook looks good. Yeah, put my name on that. I like that.
It's a little bit of the sports version of selling your soul to the devil, right? Where you don't even have your own name. Like, what'd you say? It was like 1JN was the company name that he had to design his courses over through the last years while this settlement has been ongoing.
Okay. Yeah, so you could
not having your own Golden Bear and your own name, but you
got paid for that.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You had a company, and then someone was able to buy more than 50% of the share, or in this case, was it almost all of it?
Yeah.
Bought the entire company, basically. You made millions and millions and hundreds of millions of dollars through that move.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, Timmy. Jack, why don't you shut up and just take it?
I'm just saying.
It's a unique, Timmy. Yeah, you're saying tell
it's
Jack
a unique
Nicklaus
situation.
Jack again.
Jack, you're back.
I'm back.
Jack, another subsidy, the the company I use to put the green in the backyard is a Nicklaus design company. I think it's Southwest Greens,
but
under
it?
division of Nicklaus Design.
But is
but
it?
But you have no idea if
I think it's the one that got sold.
any of
It's the fake one.
That's the
It's
real
not,
one.
It's not the real one.
No,
It's
that
the
is
fake
the
one.
that is the former one
No,
that was
fake.
you that was sold. That is the
Fake.
real Jack.
Fake news.
Oh, he knows about that.
And I didn't get a golden bear stamped on my fringe, and I wanted that, and I don't know why I didn't get it.
Ryan Day speaking today. You will hear from the coach coming up next. Common Man and T-Bone on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza in Grandview.
You should watch out for an accident that's on the left shoulder of westbound 670 at 71. Police and Wrecker are on scene, adding to some holdup. And we've got a 10-minute delay on eastbound 33 between Refugee Road and Bixby Road. This report is sponsored by Lotto.com. Feeling lucky? Lotto.com has digital scratch tickets, tons of games, and instant fun. Scratch now on Lotto.com. Must be 18 or older to play the lottery. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. I'm Nicole for 97.1 The Fan Traffic.
Common Man and T-Bone here for the ESPN Bet Sportsbook inside Hollywood Casino Columbus. Bone, did you know that the college basketball championship game is coming?
That's right. You want to go to HollywoodColumbus.com to reserve a table and guarantee your spot for that, for the draft watch party,
What
all
draft?
kinds of good stuff. You know what draft?
What draft?
All the drafts.
We can't say it, but it's a big draft.
Plus, with their Tea Time giveaway, you could win a golf cart or $10,000 in pen slot play Sunday, April 27th.
Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Foodie alert. Alton Brown's farewell tour, Last Bite, is coming to Columbus on April 22nd at Mershon Auditorium. Expect culinary chaos and scientific surprises. Tickets are on sale at Ticketmaster. Don't let this delicious opportunity slip away.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here. Spring weather has arrived, and we all know what that brings. Warmer weather and severe storms. Well, when bad weather hits, we all know it can cause leaky roofs or even damage to your siding and gutters. The Roofing Guys are your local experts in roofing, siding, and gutters and more, providing top quality through every roof, every time. So it's just a small repair, full replacement, or even peace of mind. You need to contact my guys, the Roofing Guys, 614-626-7000, or visit them at theroofingguys.com. That's theroofingguys.com.
Before you start your day, UDF has already started making your breakfast right in our bakery. We've got buttery, flaky croissants baked before the crack of dawn. We're making fluffy buttermilk biscuits from scratch by the time the sun starts to think about rising. And before you hit your first alarm, we've piled our biscuits and croissants high with sausage, egg, and cheese right in store. So come in and grab a fresh one and let us make you a morning person. Fresh baked breakfast sandwiches from United Dairy Farmers. UDF, mornings made for you.
Hey, living with chronic pain, it's like trying to get comfortable on a cactus sofa, walking on pins and needles. Nothing feels good. And forget trying to do the things you love and enjoy. Like the spring, it's getting warm, whether you want to golf, whether you want to hike, whether you want to bike, whether you want to play pickleball. You're just trying to get by. Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter here. I want you to know something. The medical pros at QC Kinetics right here in Columbus are on the case and focused to finally get you the relief you need. Finally, calm that debilitating joint pain in your knee just like I did. Maybe it's your hip, your shoulder, your back. Don't miss a beat, no surgery or long recovery. I'm done with getting cut on. With QC Kinetics, the science is solid. They give you your life back. A life healthier, free of harmful meds. That's the whole mission of QC Kinetics. You could be a candidate. So go to qckinetics.com/Columbus to find out how easy it is. They've got offices now in Canal and Grove City. So call 380-208-4544.
Come into your local AAA Car Care Plus and save $84 on select sets of Ford Nokian tires. Only at AAA Car Care Plus locations. And on the plus side, AAA members save more. Offer ends April 15th. See store for details.
Look, there's feelings and then there's the facts. If you're feeling like your finance team is bogged down in mundane manual tasks, the fact is you need Ramp. Ramp is the corporate card that makes the expense process fast and easy. The moment your team makes a purchase, Ramp handles everything. Receipt collection and approvals, the works. With Ramp, you can cut your month-end close from 5 days to 1, customize approval workflows, and get complete control over every transaction. Facts. Over 25,000 businesses trust Ramp, including Shopify and the Boys and Girls Club of America, which is why they were just named #1 in spend management by G2. Facts. Start using Ramp and you'll have more time to spend scaling your business. And that'll feel really good. Upgrade to Ramp for free today and get $250 at ramp.com/radio. Ramp.com/radio. That's ramp.com/radio.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey friends, Beamer here. 70 pounds down. Let that sink in. I'm officially 70 pounds down, all thanks to Awaken 180, and have transitioned smoothly into maintenance mode. This isn't just weight loss, this is life-changing stuff. I've dropped over 13% body fat, my visceral fat points are down by 8, and honestly, I feel like a completely new man. The coolest part, Awaken 180 just doesn't say congrats and then wave goodbye. They prepare you for maintenance, so now I get to reintroduce to myself foods that I love. Pizza, ice cream, very excited about all of that. My mindset's completely different though now. Do I crave junk food? Honestly, no. Can I eat those things now? Sure. Will I? Absolutely. But the difference is I no longer feel like I need them all the time. And Awaken 180's free support for life means that this weight's staying off. My body's now working for me instead of against me. I'm finally at my healthy baseline weight. I feel awesome. Change your mindset, change your life. Awaken 180 made it happen for me. And if it can happen for me, it can 100% happen for you. Check them out online at awaken180weightloss.com. awaken180weightloss.com.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan.
Good afternoon. I'm Paul Keels. Ohio State football coach Ryan Day revealing today that Saturday's spring game will be offense versus defense, and there will be some live tackling except on the quarterbacks. Speaking of that, he talked about where the quarterbacks stand right now.
There's nobody that's that much further ahead of the other one right now, so they're going to continue to compete, and this is a big week for them, and Saturday will be a big day for them as well.
Of course, you're going to hear the spring game Saturday here on The Fan. College basketball's title game tonight in San Antonio. Houston facing Florida. Cougars trying for their first ever title, while the Gators are gunning for their third. You're going to listen to that game tonight right here on The Fan. Baseball, Cincinnati Reds begin a series in San Francisco against the Giants. Cleveland Guardians with a day off before their home opener tomorrow against the Chicago White Sox. And heavy rain and thunderstorms force the suspension of practice rounds today at Augusta National for this week's Masters. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Highly medicated, barely educated. This is Common Man and T-Bone.
All right, remind me after we play some Ryan Day audio, I want to talk to you about bowling, okay?
All right.
Bowling. And I want to apologize to Timmy Hall, which is something I never do because I hate his face. I'm going to apologize to Timmy.
Okay. And I, all right, that's fine. Go ahead.
What?
I'm nothing.
Okay.
Nothing. I will never apologize to Timmy Hall, but go ahead.
Ryan Day talking today. They're in the middle of spring practice. Spring game, of course, coming up on Saturday. Catch all the action right here on The Fan. And Ryan Day saying, yes, it will be a spring game, offense versus defense. And as you heard Paul Keel say, there will be some live tackling, but no touchy the quarterbacks. Speaking of the quarterbacks, he talked about the QB race today.
Well, one thing, I met with the quarterbacks, and I made the comment that the only thing that was different about Saturday's practice was the fact that, we had students there and we had the media there. Other than that, it was just another practice. But what it does make you realize is how important every rep is. And that's, my job, and that's Billy Fessler and Brian Hartline's job, is to make sure that, they understand every single play matters. And we got to get better every day. That being said, it's been, 3 guys getting after it every day, improvement across the board. There's been good days on all fronts, but then there's been other days not so good. They're growing, they're learning. There's nobody that's that much further ahead of the other one right now, so they're going to continue to compete, and this is a big week for them, and Saturday will be a big day for them as well. Get in front of everybody and have an opportunity to compete.
And I'll ask you this. I asked you this when it was Cal McCord and Devin Brown, and it was much of the same type of answers, is that these two guys are very close together. No one's really separated themselves. And we asked at the time then, is that good or bad? Turns out it was probably bad.
Yeah.
For that situation. Is it good or bad that all of these guys are sort of the same right now? There's not a lot of separation.
Well, it's interesting. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing, because don't forget last year too. I know you brought up Kyle McCord, but also last year it was Devin Brown and Will Howard. Now,
that was just not real.
Was it?
Yes, it was.
You don't think Ryan?
Ryan Day knew that Will Howard was going to be a starting quarterback.
All right, but he was saying at the time, and by the way, it wasn't just him saying it. People were at practice who saw Devin Brown outplay Will Howard, at least in that one practice.
Those people are blind.
Okay. What I'm saying is there's a chance here that the guy we all thought was probably going to get it, Julian saying, may not get it. It may not be as clear-cut as that. To your point, Will Howard last year when he came in, he was brought in here. He was a veteran who had played college football for many years and came in here knowing I'm winning this job. Maybe he didn't look like it in spring ball, but he was eventually going to win that job, and he did. There is not a guy on this roster right now that they can say has, starting experience like Will Howard did when he got here last year. So I do think it's very much wide open. I don't know if it's a good thing or bad thing. Honestly, I kind of look at it as this is the competition you have to do. You have to find out who can stand out and separate himself. Lincoln Kienholz, by all accounts, is a hell of an athlete, has been in the system for a while, has learned under some of the other guys who have been here, and now he gets his chance. Julian Sayin got here last year and has obviously got a lot of talent. Everyone's expecting him to do great things here. The reality is you got 1 year basically until you turn the reins over to a guy that a lot of people believe in Tavian St. Clair, right? So that's the next step in this journey is what is believed.
I can't look forward.
Well, I know that, but I'm saying they have this year to figure out who is going to be the starter, who's going to be the guy, and what does that guy do. And if no one is separating themselves right now, then I think that even puts him in play. I think that puts all three of them in play. Ryan Day is not coming out saying anything. Maybe secretly behind the scenes he believes, oh, yeah, this is my guy, but he's not letting anyone in on that.
Here is Coach talking about if the quarterback battle could go into fall camp.
I mean, maybe one of these guys jumps out ahead this week and really, make some separation, which if they do, then they do. But we'll see. We'll kind of see where it goes. And tomorrow will be a big day. But then really, Friday is more of a spiders practice. We have our high school clinic here, but then the spring game. So somebody would have to make a significant move here on Tuesday or Saturday to really make that move to jump ahead.
No chance in hell.
Right. Doesn't sound like that's happening.
No chance in hell. All right. I want to talk to you about bowling.
Good.
I want to apologize to you, Timmy, because I don't know when it was, but I was sitting here with you doing the show. Bone was out. And somehow bowling got brought up into the conversation.
I remember.
And you talked about how expensive bowling was. And I said, what the hell you mean bowling's expensive? Bowling is what you do when you don't have any money to do anything else.
Those were the days.
Well, Natalie Merchant, you're right.
These are days.
Because I went bowling this weekend.
Oh.
All right? Went bowling. It's not just a bowling alley. They got big TVs and arcade. And
oh, sure. Did you have fun?
Shoot 'em up games. No.
Did you scream, who do you think you are? I am. Because that would have been also good if you'd done that.
No.
That's one of my faves.
But I had no idea how much bowling cost. So 3 of us, 2 adults, 1 child. I want to preface, not 1 drop of drink, not 1 morsel of food. We did not eat anything. We did not drink anything. That is not included in this price. 3 of us, 1 hour, 1 lane, $65 just for the bowling.
Wow.
For the shoe rental, the bowling shoe rental, 3 of us, $45 for the shoes for a grand total of $110 in bowling goodness. I had no idea. Kristen goes
That's way more expensive than my expensive idea.
Kristen goes up to get the shoes. She comes back with the shoes. She's got the receipt. I look at the receipt. It says $45. I actually say out loud in front of other children, and I'm not proud of it, what the F? But I said the word, and I said, let's go back and return these shoes. We'll bowl in our socks. She goes, we can't return shoes. So well, I'm not paying $45.
You did.
For shoe rental.
That feels like...
Are they Brunswick at least?
That feels like you got mischarged. Something. I don't know.
Look at the receipt.
I mean, they want you to wear the shoes, right?
I know they want me to wear the shoes. I can go and buy my own damn shoes.
Right. What I'm saying is...
I can't go in socks?
You're not... No. What I'm saying is you're not wearing the shoes because you're like, well, I got to be at my best so I can bowl my best game. Like, unless you're a bowling league person, most of us don't want to wear the shoes. We just are told you have to. So you do. but they are then charging you a ridiculous amount to where you could go probably buy some crappy shoes for that if you go to like a thrift store.
Did you ever have the friend in high school or middle school that wore bowling shoes as a fashion thing with the red and blue and tan?
Yeah, seems like a thing that person also listened to ska in my high school.
Big boss tones.
Never had to knock on wood.
Also spent a lot of time stuffed in his own locker.
Yeah,
right?
That's right. Well, Mike,
$110, Bone.
Wow.
Did you have any idea?
No, I don't remember it being that expensive. I will say the last time we went to a bowling alley, we didn't go to apparently the place you did because it wasn't quite that much. It was still expensive. But the arcade at the bowling alley got me because the kids were like, can we get tokens to go to the arcade? And I'm like, sure.
My God.
One, they don't have tokens. You get a card, right? And then you swipe the card and it. But then I go into the arcade because I didn't even look at the arcade. I'm like, yeah, sure, arcades are fun. They got video games you can play, a little Pop-A-Shot, little whack-a-mole.
I bet some of these arcade games now are between $1 and $2 just for a play.
Here's
it's probably done in 90 seconds.
I didn't take them to an arcade. What it turned out I took them to was a child's casino, like you talked about.
Right.
Where it's just,
that's all they want to do.
Tickets.
It wasn't like a couple games with tickets, and then the other ones were like Street Fighter.
They're all tickets.
It was all. Some of the games are literally like
you push a button.
Yeah,
that's it.
And then it spins the circle, and then at the end of it, it's like you won 500 tickets or 2 tickets, and it's like. This is nothing more than a slot machine.
And you know what you get for 500 tickets? Like a blow pop.
Yes.
A Charms blow pop.
So it's like you've converted my real money, which I would have given you to buy my child a blow pop. You've converted that into fake money that then I have to spend on these stupid games that aren't anything other than slap the button at the right time and maybe you get a bunch of more tickets.
Look,
and then you go up to buy their crappy, cheap plastic things you could buy for $1 at the Dollar General if you wanted to.
I understand that every single generation has these same exact conversations. I'm sure my parents were talking about it when we were kids.
100%.
What are we buying these Nintendos for, right?
How much is that game? $10?
Let me
That's ridiculous.
Looky here. There is no way you can justify to me. I don't care how many big screens it has. I don't care how nice the bathrooms are. $110 for 1 hour of bowling.
Oh.
That's ridiculous.
It's
How many games did you get in? Because 2 games.
2 games.
2 games each. That's it.
Insane. Now,
My goodness.
I'm not going to say that this will top that, but I had an experience over the weekend where I don't think you're prepared for the amount of money I spent at the movie theater.
You can't tell me that it's going to surprise me more than $110 with bowling.
I think it may.
All right.
I think it may.
T-Bone, because I don't go to the movies. I hate it. T-Bone will dazzle us with his movie story coming up next. Common Man and T-Bone on the Fan.
Fan Traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza in Grandview.
You're going to hit a 5-minute delay on westbound 270 on the North Outer Belt between 161 and Cleveland Avenue. And things are a little slow on northbound 315 between Lane Avenue and Ackerman Road. This report is sponsored by Ohio Laborers and Ohio Lesset. Ohio Laborers would like to congratulate Member of the Week, Randy Mollett, Laborers Local 83 Portsmouth. Randy is a 24-year member working for FBP. Build Ohio right, build it union. I'm Nicole for 97.1 The Fan Traffic.
Spring forward, Columbus, with the Waterworks and Header Heating and Cooling Services. We're here to thaw you out with this limited time offer. Get up to $2,000 off a new complete furnace and AC system. This offer is too good to pass up. The Waterworks and Header Heating and Cooling now together to serve you better with $2,000 off a new complete furnace and AC system. This offer won't last. Call us today, 614-232-2222. That's 614-232-2222.
If the newest escape room in town is just you trying to escape from your busted garage door, we are Deluxe Door Systems. For 30 years, we've fixed crappy garage doors, straightforward, honest, and for less than you think. DeluxeDoorSystems.com.
Picture this. You walk into a Tim Hortons and get a warm toasted English muffin or a buttery biscuit layered with fluffy fresh cracked eggs, melty cheese, and savory sausage or bacon. Now imagine that breakfast sandwich for just $3 when you buy any size coffee, hot or cold, because when you're running on empty, you want a breakfast that does more than just fills you up. So start your morning with Tim's, because you deserve a breakfast that's as good as your day is going to be. Limited time at participating U.S. restaurants. Offer valid only during breakfast hours. Exclusions apply. Additional terms apply.
I think one of the things that patients don't realize is that when they get a joint replacement, that's not a lifetime treatment option. And they're probably, if they are a younger patient, signing up for multiple surgeries down the road.
As a physician and medical director for QC Kinetics, Dr. Caravelli's seen a pattern of trending joint pain.
Prolonged medication, steroids, then surgery, possibly another surgery.
So a lot of our patients are trying to avoid or put off surgery, and this is the treatment that can help them do that.
QC Kinetics extracts your body's healing substances, concentrates them back into your aching joints to help heal and restore those areas, providing lasting relief.
Oh, I love being able to tell my patients, before we do this surgery, let's try another option. Let's see if this is right for you, because now they might not have to have surgery at all.
Call today for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
Anthony Rothman here for Tel Ohio. Tel Ohio Credit Union has been financing dreams and fueling the local economy for 90 years. And as the #1 SBA lender among Ohio credit unions, learn why more than 3,000 business owners trust Tel Ohio. Visit telohio.org/business.
Hey, it's Leslie from Pella Columbus.
I'm Wilson from that other window place.
And today, Pella's excited to announce our 100-year anniversary.
Cut! Leslie, you accidentally said 100 years.
Not an accident, Wilson.
What?
When you do the windows that look the best, you tend to stick around for a while.
I can't compete with that. Buy from her.
Get the windows that have been around for 100 years. The windows that homeowners rated the leading window brand in Columbus. At PellaColumbus.com.
Most radio stations suck. Here's why. They don't invest in local programming. We are live and local 14 hours a day. You can rest assured that every stupid thing we say is 100% local. Homegrown, dumb since day one. The Fan.
Discover uncompromising quality at a reliable price with Giant Eagle and Market District. Find everyday savings and bargains on produce, meat, and more. Look for signs throughout the store highlighting long-term lower prices. With our weekly sales, deals for days promotions, and My Perks loyalty program, Giant Eagle helps make the most out of every shopping trip. Surround yourself with savings at Giant Eagle and experience value like never before. Visit Giant Eagle and Market District today to see how easy it is to save.
Hi, Kevin. How's my engine doing?
Well, you tell me, little lady.
What?
Ma'am, an engine is delicate. It's got a lot of parts rubbing together.
Oh, is that so?
Lube her up real nice, and she'll purr like a kitty cat.
How do you know so much about engines?
Well, I spent a lot of time under that hood.
Babe, she is running hot. Let's go. And next time, I get to play the mechanic.
Rev up the romance with Lion's Den, the official store of pleasure, passion, and romance.
With Amazon Business, smart business buying tools enable buyers to find and purchase items fast. Free up your teams and focus on your future. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Sunshine giving way to a few clouds, breezy with temperatures in the mid to upper 50s. Slight chance of a shower on this Monday evening. Overnight will dry it out but cool it down to the mid 20s with a freeze warning for your Tuesday morning. Back in the low 40s with plenty of sunshine but a brisk finish Tuesday afternoon. With your 10 weather impact forecast, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz on The Fan.
ESPN Bet is the official sports book of Common Man and T-Bone. On your phone or in person at Hollywood Casino Columbus. The Fan.
The kings of local social media.
Twitters and twatters.
This is Common Man and T-Bone.
People are telling me I got ripped off at the bowling, which I'm sure I did get ripped off.
It does sound like
this
that.
This is the place that my wife wanted to go. All right, fine. Look, next time I go bowling, tell me a place to go. Here's what I wanted. I want to smell cigarettes. I want the dude in the corner with his hand in his pants. I want no frills. I'll even take score with my own pencil.
Sure.
All right, I'll do it all. Old school way. Because I'm not paying $110 for 1 hour of bowling with shoe rental.
No, that's not right.
And give me the shoes with tough actin tenactin sprayed in it or gout or whatever the hell we're doing. I'll take my chances. Ridiculous.
Yeah. The bowling game has gotten nicer. Right now you got the lanes where it's like, oh, for this person, they need the bumpers and they pop up. And the next person, they drop down. And
for example, they had big screen TVs to watch while you're bowling.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Right at the end of the alley where the pins are, they got the huge TVs. So I'm sure they were charging all that money because I got to watch NBA Africa League.
Oh,
that was right. That was terrific.
Well, Mike, I don't know if this is as bad or worse, but it's something. I took the kids to the movies yesterday. Me and the three girls went to go see Minecraft. Okay.
All right.
Which I won't give you any spoilers, but I'll just tell you, if you like Minecraft, I think you'll like this movie. If you have kids who like Minecraft, they will probably like this movie. If you love Jack Black, I think you'll enjoy this movie. If you hate Jack Black, you probably shouldn't go to this movie because he is as Jack Black as I've ever seen him. Like, he's
Jack Blackie.
Doing all the, yeah, ha, why ha. Like, he's doing all that all the time. And, yeah, Jason Momoa's in it. He's fine. My wife would complain. She didn't go, but her complaint would be he didn't have his shoulders and his arms naked the entire time. Because he had like a jean jacket on for most of the movie, and I'm quite sure that would have been a problem for her because she likes his arms.
I
big fan of the arms.
Right.
Anyway, don't worry about the cost of the tickets.
No, why not? Isn't that applicable
I'll
here?
get there.
Okay.
But here's what I want to talk. I knew that. The tickets are expensive. It is what it is.
All right, tickets expensive. Got it.
But I bought, for me and the 3 kids, I said, I'm going to buy a big bucket of popcorn.
Hold on, I'm going to write down. I'm going to itemize what you're telling me here. Like a large.
Yeah, a large bucket of popcorn that we can all share.
Popcorn.
And then each of you can pick out like a drink and another food item. That can be like a candy. That can be whatever. Just some other thing that's not popcorn.
All right, so each of you got a drink.
Yeah, each of us got
That's
a drink.
4 drinks.
Yeah. 1 large popcorn, and then like a candy item or some other thing to eat in addition.
3 candies or 4 candies?
I got candy.
You got
4.
candy, so
yeah.
4 candies. So we have large popcorn, 4 drinks, 4 candies.
What do you think that set me back?
$35.
No. Teddy, do you want to take a stab at this? Because
I was going to say like $45.
You're both wrong. How about $75 for that amount of food? What I got was dude.
No.
I got a large popcorn and a large drink combo. Do you know what that cost me? $20.
How can it cost you $20?
I don't know.
Popcorn is virtually free.
Right.
The kernels are free, and then it's pop.
Right.
Also pennies.
They know that I wanted it. And you know what? Here's the thing. I walked into the movie theater saying, I thought about, let's stop, let's grab some snacks, stuff them in one of the kids' bags. We'll go in, we'll pull them out, we'll eat them in there, we'll save a little money. And I thought, no, today I don't want to bother with that. I just want to go in there. I'll set some limits so the kids aren't just like, I want this, I want that. And I said, I'm going to get a bucket of popcorn for everybody to share. I thought that would be enough to make it relatively cheap.
$75.
Dude, my 5-year-old said she wanted chocolate milk. They had a little, 16-ounce, 12-ounce, something, little chocolate milk, like the Fairlife chocolate milk. It's all wrapped up. Nesquik, whatever brand it was, it's all wrapped up. You get it at the gas station, it's $1.50. $5.39 for milk. Milk for a child. $5.39 for a little. I can get a 2 liter, a gallon of it. I get gallons of it for less than $5.39.
Look, you ultimately made the decision. You knew how much these things cost.
I did. I did. You're right.
But I hear that, the government, we're going to look into Ticketmaster, these fees. Ah! Right. I'm with you, too.
Right.
But while you're looking into them, look at how a popcorn and a pop costs $20 at the AMC in Dublin. Can you look into that?
Yeah, right. So then on top of that, I obviously had to buy the tickets to go in. I bought those the day before. 4 tickets. And by the way, I got all matinee because we went before noon. So I got the cheaper tickets.
Okay.
And 2 of my kids qualify as children's tickets also. I still paid $45 for those tickets. So all told, I was in for what, $120 for us to go see a movie and get a few snacks before the movie in the concession stand. Listen, just make one of them or the other free. That's what I'm telling you, AMC, and all these movie theater chains.
You and I paid the same price. You paid $110 to see a movie.
Yeah.
And I paid $110 to roll a bowl down
I hope you rolled a bowl after that. I would too.
Ball.
Yeah. What I'm saying is, if I went in and they said, hey, it's $75 for the concessions, but movies are free. Great. Or if I paid, I don't know, $75 for tickets to the movie and they said, oh, by the way, concessions are free, I would be like, fine.
You got to go to the same place.
Just give me some deal there. I feel like I got no deal whatsoever.
I swear to you, Jen Winters was telling me that her husband, non-sports Matt, pays this thing where it's $15 a month to whatever local movie theater they have there.
Okay.
And he can go to as many movies as he wants for $15 a month, and he gets a free popcorn and a drink every time.
I don't know why you wouldn't do. That's highway robbery compared to what I'm doing. And here's the thing: I have the Stubbs membership for AMC.
He does have to prostitute himself, though, sexually.
I've never felt like we hadn't even gotten in. I hadn't even picked up the food yet, because of course you don't order with the person now. You order at the kiosk, which is fine. But I'm sitting there punching it all in, and at the end I'm like, oh, that seems a little high. Oh, that's expensive. Okay, well, you know what? I get it all done, and then the bill comes out to $75, and I'm like, all right, whatever, fine. We got to get into this movie. And then I stand there for 5 minutes waiting for the food, and then, of course, they don't give you a cup full of the drink you ordered. They give you an empty cup that you have to go fill. They give you an icy that you have to go fill.
You can refill it.
Yes, you can refill it.
Here's what I would do. I'd intentionally go see a movie that I don't really care about.
Uh-huh.
Get a pop.
Uh-huh.
Wear a diaper.
Okay. You're a good man.
Remember the astronaut that drove across the country?
Yeah.
It's like to kill somebody. It's like, I'm not stopping.
Yeah.
I'm going to crap myself and piss myself right in this car so I can get there quickly and kill this person.
What I'm saying is, if someone walks out of a theater after buying all that and then just goes into another movie theater and does the double dip illegally.
I used to do that all the time.
I'm not reporting it. I'm not telling a soul. I'd say good for you. Congratulations on getting one over on the movie theater industry.
Well, the way I saw my first ever R-rated movie was we didn't steal the movie, but we bought a ticket for something G or PG rated.
That's the way to do it.
That was on the same bank.
What was the movie?
Yeah. The movie was... okay, so Ransom was the first one that I saw, and that was, my parents were in the theater too, and that was awkward because my dad didn't really want me to see some of the scenes, but we're in the theater.
What are you going to do?
Right, what are you going to do?
Reach over and cover your eyeballs?
Yeah, you tried to do that at one point. I just
get out of
I
here.
slapped his hand away. I was like, stop doing that. I want to see Gary Sinise shooting out the entire block.
I was going to say, there's not nudity or...
Give me back my son! It was just Mel Gibson yelling and screaming and one, shootout scene.
Oh, yeah. A lot of F-bombs.
What's the movie you're talking about, though?
I think it was Pulp Fiction.
Oh, that was the first one you saw?
That's more of a hard R.
That's a hard R.
Very, very hard R.
That's a hard R.
That's a hard R. What was the first R-rated movie you ever saw?
Gosh, I honestly don't know. Because I probably didn't see it until I was 17 or 18 years old.
Teddy?
I have no idea what it was.
I think it was Porky's, actually.
Oh, there you go, Teddy. There you go. That's one that I always used to watch on Comedy Central when they would air it, because I saw the cover of it when I would go to Blockbuster and be like, oh, that's a movie. If I ever get a chance to watch that, then I'd watch it on Comedy Central and be like, I don't get the hype.
Mike,
they cut out all the good parts.
I retract. Pulp Fiction, the years don't add up. It was Scream. Scream was the first one that we saw in the theater when we bought a ticket to something. It might have been a re-release of Little Mermaid that we bought the ticket for. Oh. And then hopped over, and Scream was huge, obviously, when that was coming out.
Yeah, it's tougher now to do that because you've got the assigned seating. So,
right, no, how do you...
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, because now you go into a place that's like, oh, this is my seat. You could probably find some empties that you could sit in, but how do you know?
The first R that I saw in a theater was Terminator 2. And we actually had a parent buy us those tickets.
Oh,
so it's not like we snuck in to see it. We actually got permission to go do it. By the way, it was the same woman who molested the dog.
Muggsy's Leaper mom bought you the Terminator 2
The
tickets?
Leaper was down for anything, right?
Yeah, she was down for anything.
You're like, thanks, do you want to go to this? And she was like, no, sorry, I'm busy.
Stay home with the lipstick.
Did she get you tickets to Showgirls with Elizabeth Berkley?
No, I was old enough actually to get those tickets myself.
There you go. Good for you.
The first R-rated movie I saw, period, was Beverly Hills Cop in Michael Curcio's basement.
Oh,
that's a good one.
Oh, fantastic.
That's a good first one.
There was a time in my life
great movie
where I had every single line in that movie memorized.
Yeah.
Every one.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
This shouldn't surprise me. You love that movie.
You know that better than Anthony.
Is he a big fan of that movie?
Well, he knows every line in every movie that he's ever seen.
God, what was it today you guys did where I said something and you both said, I want a full list or something?
Full description.
A full description.
We want full Field of Dreams.
Looked at each other, just like a full description, and they start busting up laughing, and Ted and I are just like, what? What
T-Bone,
happened?
take care of this family.
Arnold's here now. Take care of this family.
Get to the chopper. If you build it, they will come.
Jason's beef with our guy Jason Starr coming up in 2 minutes. Colin Man and T-Bone on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza in Grandview.
You're looking at some slower traffic on westbound 70 downtown between the 71 East Split and Livingston Avenue. And watch for an accident that's on the left shoulder of southbound 71 on the north side after Polaris Parkway. This report is sponsored by Rocket. Rocket is giving every home one address. Rocket.com, a single seamless homeownership platform to help you find, buy, sell, finance, even refinance your home. Everything you need, all under one roof. Visit Rocket.com, the new home for all things home ownership. Rocket, own the dream. I'm Nicole for 97.1 The Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union. Earn a $200 cash bonus with a home equity line of credit from BMI FCU. Visit bmifcu.org/home-equity for more details.
For 100 years, our passionate Atlas Butler has been helping people. From those who have relied on us for years to those who call us for the first time. For our team, their families, and our community, Atlas Butler is here to keep Central Ohio safe and comfortable with trusted, convenient service. Call today, get it fixed today. That's our pledge to you.
Atlas Butler is at your service. Call 1-800-FURNACE.
Look, there's feelings and then there's the facts. If you're feeling like your finance team is bogged down in mundane manual tasks, the fact is you need Ramp. Ramp is the corporate card that makes the expense process fast and easy. The moment your team makes a purchase, Ramp handles everything. Receipt collection and approvals, the works. With Ramp, you can cut your month-end close from 5 days to 1, customize approval workflows, and get complete control over every transaction. Facts. Over 25,000 businesses trust Ramp, including Shopify and the Boys and Girls Club of America, which is why they were just named #1 in spend management by G2. Facts. Start using Ramp and you'll have more time to spend scaling your business, and that'll feel really good. Upgrade to Ramp for free today and get $250 at ramp.com/radio. Ramp.com/radio. That's ramp.com/radio.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Common Man and T-Bone is sponsored by the Hinderer Motor Company. We love what moves you. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
He likes baseball. He likes solar eclipses. He likes Shohei Ohtani. But he loves roast beef sandwiches. It's time for Jayson's Beef with everyone's favorite baseball writer, podcaster, author, and former mustache owner, Jayson Stark.
Sponsored by Logan Services. Feeling the heat? Call the experts at Logan Services now for hot deals on Train air conditioners.
The Hall of Famer, Jayson Stark, joins us on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Hello, my friend.
Hello, Mike, and hello, Mike. I have to say everything again twice, right?
We're just doing it once this week. Don't get confused. By the way, thank you for playing along with our stupidity last week.
Yes. It was fun. It was goofy. But it was fun. I actually think it was probably the goofiest thing I was ever a part of on radio or TV, which is saying something.
That says something.
But I just try to decide, was it genius or madness? What do you think?
There's a fine line, buddy. And
yes.
I ask myself every single day which line I'm going to straddle that.
We're going to go with probably madness, but the fact that you participated makes us question. Maybe there was a little genius there. So thank you for that, Jayson. We appreciate
it. You're welcome. I don't know how much genius it took for me to do it, but I went along.
We were talking about this during the break. Are you a Field of Dreams guy or a Bull Durham guy? Because I feel like you can like both, but you can only really have one clear favorite.
I really do love both, but Bull Durham captured something about baseball players, the baseball life, the minor league life that was so real. And like Field of Dreams is the opposite. It's a fantasy, and it's really cool, and it evokes a lot of warm and fuzzy emotions. But of the two, Bull Durham was my definition of genius.
Well, see, Jayson, we've had this discussion on the show that, it is Field of Dreams a fantasy movie.
Yes, it's a fantasy movie.
It almost falls into what you would call like the science fiction / fantasy realm at Blockbuster.
No. I've been told by idiots who work here that Field of Dreams is a sci-fi movie. It's not.
No, I wouldn't describe it.
All right, here's the real question, though. Favorite baseball movie of all time. Is it Bull Durham or is it something else?
No, for me, it's Bull Durham. It is. But Field of Dreams is right up there. I don't want to diminish it. We actually on our podcast a couple of years ago, Jerry Blevins was ripping Field of Dreams, and Doug Glanville's not a big Field of Dreams guy. We wound up actually having a trial, proving that it was actually a great film. I can't remember if I won or lost, but I was on the side of great film.
I don't know how anybody can argue otherwise. Former Buckeye Beanie Wells told me that it sucked once. I didn't talk to him for 2 years.
Yes, I don't want to hear that. That's just wrong.
Last week, Jason, twice I gave you a homework assignment of, I don't even know how what term we eventually settled on, but we were talking about guys getting hit in the head when they're standing in the batter's box to get up and somehow continue on and don't just like run and never play baseball again. That brought up the discussion of toughest, most fearless players you can remember that you covered. Any progress on that question?
Yeah. I mean, since you asked me twice, I thought of two guys. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Perfect.
The funny thing is, neither one was a hitter. They were both pitchers who got hit by line drives in the head. And one was Alex Cobb, who was still pitching. But back when he was still with the Rays, he got drilled, maybe 7 or 8 years ago. And I know he spent several days in the hospital. He fractured his skull. He took a long time to get back on the mound. And when he came back, he wanted to become a pioneer in protective headwear for pitchers. And he found out that his fellow pitchers wouldn't wear it. And so the thing I remember about him is he didn't want to just get through what happened so he could pitch again. He wanted to use what happened to him as an example of what could happen to someone else. And there were so few of his fellow pitchers who would even let their minds go there that he got no traction on that. But just that whole scenario, I think, is telling us something about how baseball players do this. They don't let their minds get to that place. And then the other guy, I would imagine people in Ohio remember a lot more vividly because it's Norm Charlton, who I covered in Philly back in the 90s. And this is a really famous or infamous moment where he got hit in the head by a rocket back to the mound. His whole face was bleeding, and he didn't want to leave the game. It was a scene like right out of WrestleMania. There were incredible photos, I remember, of him finally walking off the mound, blood streaming down his face. And the next day, walking in the clubhouse, his whole face was black and blue. And his reaction was he was mad because he didn't get to pitch that night. It was just part of his nasty boys persona, back when he was with the Reds. And I honestly don't know how much of that was bravado and how much was courage. But I do know there haven't been many normal humans that I've come across who would have responded the way that he did, where his whole face is a giant bloody welt. And his reaction is, give me the ball. You know many people like that?
I worked with some people like that, but no. On the baseball field, no. Jason's beef with our guy Jason Stark here on The Fan. So Vlad Guerrero Jr. gets a 14-year, $500 million deal from the Jays. Are you surprised that we saw this during the season, especially this part of the season? Because I know, guys don't like to negotiate once the season starts.
Well, I was around them a lot in spring training, and talked to their front office guys along the way. And I actually wrote a story a couple weeks ago about Mark Shapiro, their team president, saying how optimistic he was that this could still happen. So I've actually known this was in the works and been waiting for it, and fascinated by the reaction to it, because there's a lot of people today going off on how badly he's going to age, how bad a player he's going to be in 2039. And if you're focusing on that, then you're living in a vacuum, because the truth is the Blue Jays had to do this, and this is not a move that you analyze by looking at it as some kind of equity exchange. If you think about any move in baseball in terms of what's the value of the commodity going to be at the end of it, you'll never do anything. Baseball is not an equity exchange. You could talk yourself out of everything that's risky. The question for them was never going to be, what's the cost going to be in 2039? The question was, what's the cost of not doing it in 2025? People were so angry in their community that this was something they had to do because both sides wanted it to happen. And they were too close, even when it blew up, for it not to get done. So this is a recognition of that.
Jayson, you're a Hall of Famer for covering the game. You've covered, I'm sure, many different teams in many different situations. Are you envious of those who get to sit in the Sacramento A's? I don't even know what we're calling this team now. Their press shed? That is the only way I can describe it. Where they have the press conference. Have you ever seen anything like that? Obviously not, but what are people in baseball saying about the way that's going in Sacramento after a couple weeks?
Yeah, I haven't seen anything like it in Major League Baseball. I've covered baseball like in Cuba, Puerto Rico, where you have some pretty makeshift conditions for us. But that interview shed, that's what you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Can I say it's not ideal? Everybody knows this isn't the way it's supposed to work. And it's just a reflection on how badly this situation was handled, that this is where we are. There still hasn't been a shovel in the ground in Vegas. People in Oakland hate the owner. They can't go back there. I would think at some point it's leading us to Vegas, but this is really an embarrassment in many ways. It's actually going to be fine for the A's because people are going to be excited that they're in Sacramento, but that is not a major league facility in any sense of the word. And like, how is anybody supposed to look at that and think, yeah, the sport's in a great place because they're in Sacramento with a media shed?
Jayson, we appreciate it, my friend. We'll talk next week.
Sounds good, guys. Thanks.
Jason's beef with Jayson Stark on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Back page coming up. Colin Mann and T-Bone on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza in Grandview.
You should watch out for an accident that's on the right shoulder of northbound 270 on the east outer belt before I-70. And we've got some slower traffic on southbound 71 on the north side between 670 and East Broad Street. This report is sponsored by ExpressPros.com. It's time to bring people back into the hiring process. If posting jobs online and screening applicants is failing, turn to the experts, Express Employment Professionals. Go to ExpressPros.com to find the location near you. Express blends tech with local support. That's ExpressPros.com. I'm Nicole for 97.1 The Fan Traffic.
Hey, it's Anthony Rothman here for Germain Honda of Dublin. So what's the difference? There are other Honda dealers around. Well, Rich Newsom and his team want to earn your trust. They don't expect it, and they earn it by giving you a great price, and then they back it up after the sale. With same-day service, no appointment necessary, a great variety of brand new Hondas, and hundreds of pre-owned certified Hondas to choose from, all at the same location. Identify yours at GermainHondaofDublin.com. Germain Honda of Dublin, Sawmill Road, just south of 270.
Everybody poops, everybody pees. Mommy, will you call Mr. Rooter, please? 'Cause I gotta poop and I gotta pee. Only Mr. Rooter can clear the drain for me. Thank you, Mr. Rooter.
Hi, everybody. We call it what it is at Mr. Rooter. When you have a plumbing or drain problem, the team at Mr. Rooter is ready 7 days a week. Call us today and take advantage of our $95 drain cleaning special. Visit us at MrRooter.com. We'll be there quick.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter, and spring is here, and it's time to refresh your yard with Ohio Mulch. With 15 convenient locations in Central Ohio, it's easier than ever to get mulch ready for the season. Now through April 5th, get 5 bags of red, black, or brown mulch for just $10.95. Need it delivered? No problem. Save $50 on home delivery when you order online. Visit OhioMulch.com today and spruce up your yard with the best.
Ohio Mulch, landscape Supply. Cleaner, greener, better.
There's a lot on the line in a divorce. Your home, savings, retirement, maybe even kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce and the unexpected directions it can take, you really need a partner you can count on. I'm Rick Julius, a partner at Cordell & Cordell. We're committed to helping protect your personal interests and the life you've built. Don't let divorce take more than it has to. Talk to us today.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Columbus area attorneys. 10 West Broad Street, Suite 1550, Columbus, Ohio, 43215. CordellCordell.com.
Your home is more than just four walls and a roof. It's where life happens, where memories are made, where family gathers, and where you should feel safe. At Newman Roofing, we know that when it's time for a new roof, you want to feel confident that you've hired the right company. One that will install a quality roof and complete the work as promised. But with so many roofing companies out there, how do you know which one to trust? For over 30 years, Newman Roofing has helped more than 7,500 families protect their homes with quality roofing, gutters, and siding. We believe you deserve a company that provides a white glove customer experience, one that pays attention to every detail and treats your home like it's our own. At Newman Roofing, we're not just another roofing company. We're a family-built business that stands behind our work. So when it's time to replace your roof, don't settle for uncertainty. Choose the local family with a reputation for excellence. Choose the company you can trust. Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit us online at newmanroofing.com. Don't just get a new roof, get a Newman roof.
This promo is for anyone who likes baseball or America or Terry Francona's scooter. The Reds are on the Fan. Catch all 162 games here on the Fan and 1460 ESPN Columbus and the Fan's HD2. Your home for Reds baseball, the Fan.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Buy 2 windows, get 2 free. No limit. Pay no interest till 2030 plus $500 off your home improvement project. Restrictions apply. Call them today. 614-502-5220. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
Bring more fresh to Easter with great deals at Meijer. Savory Meijer's spiral sliced half ham is 79 cents a pound with M-Perks Limit 1. Discount automatically applied once you enter your M-Perks ID. Del Monte canned vegetables are $1 each. And a 5-pound bag of yellow or red potatoes is only $4.99. Decorate your home and table with Easter decor. And make Easter a good deal sweeter for your little peeps with toys, candy, and more. Hop into Meijer, where Easter is a good deal better. Exclusions apply. See all deals in the Meijer app.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Buckeye Round Table coming up at the top of the hour. The host of Buckeye Round Table, your friend and mine. He is the network version of Timmy Hall.
Yeah, getting to be sad. Only 2 more of these. Tonight,
I'm sure you're really torn up about it.
Very broken up. Tonight and next Monday. But I do get to talk to my buddy Skip Mossick on the show now. These are rare hits. I don't hear, other than Skip doing Tee to Green, I don't get sports radio Skip Mossick.
Has Skip ever been to the Masters? Do we know the answer to that?
That's a great question.
I know you entered the lottery and you've never gotten selected, but Beamer has. Beamer's gone.
We'll discuss it tonight then, since I know we just had a Buckeye who, a women's golfer, play in the amateur tournament that they started up about 6 or 7 years ago, which I think is awesome. It's a cool little event that gets sort of the table set for the Masters. So we'll talk about that later on in the program in the 7 o'clock hour. And I'll ask Skip. Beamer has been maybe twice. For sure he's been there once. And the joke was that he didn't just win practice round tickets. The first time he ever won it, he got a pair of Saturday badges.
All right, let me ask you this. You've never played, you've never been there, obviously.
I've never been to Augusta.
You have traveled around. You have played some of the big-time courses across the country. What is your favorite golf course that you've played?
It's not even close.
Pebble?
It's Pebble. Nothing is even close. And
Scotland?
I've not played St. Andrews. I only played at one 9-hole track in sort of the middle of the country in Crieff, and it was a very neat experience. Don't get me wrong. Just to say you've played golf in Scotland.
I'll go with you to St. Andrews.
That would be nice.
I'll carry your bags.
You can caddy. You can enjoy the walk because the weather will be great. And
I'm
I'll
not
be
carrying your bags. I'll walk with you. We'll hire a local boy to carry the bags.
But I'll pay you the fee.
Absolutely, I'm taking the fee.
And you could just give me nonsensical advice.
You use your pitching wedge here.
Oh man, you bringing up Pebble just then right there. It
got your nipples hard.
It takes me. It's the best thing I've ever done in my life, and it's really not even close. And people would say that some of the tracks out there. There's a course called Cypress that I don't know how you get on. Like you've got to know someone. It's on the grounds in the area in Monterey, but you need to know someone. It's super private, but that's also regarded as one of the best in the world. But as far as a public course that you can play and what you pay is obvious, but the way that you are treated and taken care of not only matches, but supersedes the cost of the trip of being out there. It's just world-class service. I can't imagine any resort, any place in the world that treats you, takes care of you better for the price than at Pebble. And then the golf experience and the views, it's like you get out of the first couple holes, and then it's hole 4, pow, 5, pow, 6, 7, 8, make the turn, 9, 10, 11, then double back 17, pow, ocean, 18, all the way on the ocean. I sent a ball, blunk, right into the drink on 18. So I got the full experience.
What did it sound like when it went into the water?
Glunk.
Okay, just like that.
And then Costanza went in there and took it out of a whale's blowhole.
Yes, he did. What was that, a Titleist?
All right, what's coming up on the Buckeye Round Table show?
All right, we got a lot to get to because a lot of quarterback talk. Are we starting to believe that this is more of a conversation, or is this just what we do when we're transitioning from
it's a conversation.
Solid quarterback?
I think unlike last year, I think this is a conversation. Last year
that was different because you brought in a guy with lots of experience, right?
But that's what I mean. But
yeah,
Ryan Day still led you to believe that there was a competition going on.
That's true.
Now I think there's an actual competition.
And then
going
before, so it seems a little bit more like when it was Kyle McCord winning the job.
Yes.
Where I
hope it doesn't last that long.
They kind of played it out a little bit in the first couple games of the season, but a lot of talk there. So we'll hear from Ryan Day. We'll talk to Tim May about that issue as well for Buckeye football. Adam Jardy will join us for all the portal madness and what's going on with this Buckeye basketball team. Could something happen? I would assume any hour, any day. Portal news will be breaking, so we'll see the latest.
Buckeye Round Table, 2 big hours, top of the hour, right here on the Fan. Back page.
The Back Page. The Back Page with Common Man and T-Bone.
Sponsored by Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
Bone.
Well, man, Alex Ovechkin scored his goal that broke the NHL's all-time goals record on Sunday against the New York Islanders. Their goaltender, Ilya Sorokin, was the guy who ended up being on the end of that goal that I saw after the game. Ovechkin wanted Sorokin's stick. He got it. The stick that he was holding when he broke that record. There were lots of those type of moments, right? But one thing for Ilya Sorokin is that was the first time Ovechkin had ever bested him. And he had gone up against Ovechkin before. Ovechkin never got one past him until that day. Well,
how many? A lot of games? Or
it says that he had faced him a couple times before that and had never allowed him to score.
Okay.
However, Sorokin was on the list, now no longer is. There's a list of only 28 guys in NHL who played against Ovechkin who never gave up a goal to him despite facing him and facing shots from him. So I like this. Budweiser actually went and made commemorative cans that they're the Budweiser logo, but they're all white. And they say 0 of 895. And it has a list of these guys combined, these 28 goalies, had a combined 199 shots coming at them that they stopped from Ovechkin. They never gave up a goal to him during his 895 goals of his, career-long streak that he's had.
Any big-time names?
Manny Legacy's probably one of the ones that stood out to me.
Manny Legacy.
Curtis Joseph is on this list.
Cujo.
He's one of only 3 Vezina finalists on the list of 28. But each of them got a commemorative can. So kind of a neat gesture and a neat thing to put out there. Now, if any of them are still playing, they could still get scored on, but they didn't get scored on during this time where he broke the record.
All right, tomorrow we start the program, obviously at 3, because that's what we do, with a special guest host for the 3 o'clock hour. Who is it? We're not going to tell you. All we'll say is that it's someone who's never been on this show before and quite possibly may never come on again. So join us tomorrow.
Wow.
Common Man and T-Bone on the Fan.
Fan Traffic.
Sponsored by Meister's Bar and Pizza in Grandview.
We've got stop-and-go traffic that's causing a 5-minute delay on westbound 670 between 33 and I-70. And be aware of an accident that's on the right shoulder of northbound 270 on the east outer belt before I-70. This report is sponsored by Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell, Divorce and Family Law. Call 866-323-7529. That's 866-323-7529. Cordell & Cordell, a partner you can count on. CordellCordell.com. I'm Nicole for 97.1 The Fan Traffic.
Hey, living with chronic pain, it's like trying to get comfortable on a cactus sofa, walking on pins and needles. Nothing feels good. And forget trying to do the things you love and enjoy. Like the spring, it's getting warm, whether you want to golf, whether you want to hike, whether you want to bike, whether you want to play pickleball. You're just trying to get by. Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter here. I want you to know something. The medical pros at QC Kinetics right here in Columbus are on the case and focused to finally get you the relief you need. Finally, calm that debilitating joint pain in your knee just like I did. Maybe it's your hip, your shoulder, your back. Don't miss a beat, no surgery or long recovery. I'm done with getting cut on. With QC Kinetics, the science is solid. They give you your life back. A life healthier, free of harmful meds. That's the whole mission of QC Kinetics. You could be a candidate. So go to qckinetics.com/Columbus to find out how easy it is. They've got offices now in Canal and Grove City, so call 380-208-4544.
You can stream the game on your phone while you're gardening. You can stream it while you walk the dog. You can stream it at a trampoline park. You can even stream it at a monster truck rally. But the second you get behind the wheel, the game's over. Remember, Ohio, phones down. It's the law.
Spring forward, Columbus, with the Waterworks and Header Heating and Cooling Services. We're here to thaw you out with this limited time offer. Get up to $2,000 off a new complete furnace and AC system. This offer is too good to pass up. The Waterworks and Header Heating and Cooling now together to serve you better with $2,000 off a new complete furnace and AC system. This offer won't last. Call us today, 614-232-2222. That's 614-232-2222.
Hey, it's Leslie from Pella Columbus.
I'm Wilson from that other window place. Wait, Leslie, what is that dude doing over there at that window?
Well, that dude is Chase, and Chase is making that window look perfect. We're sticklers on detail, Wilson, both in our showroom and definitely in people's homes.
Chase, be careful. May have spilled some coffee over there just a bit ago.
Oh, he knows. He seems to work a lot more when you're around, Wilson. Get the window that homeowners rated the leading window brand in Columbus at PellaColumbus.com.
Hi, Kevin. How's my engine doing?
Well, you tell me, little lady.
What?
Ma'am, an engine is delicate. It's got a lot of parts rubbing together.
Oh, is that so?
Lube her up real nice and she'll purr like a kitty cat.
How do you know so much about engines?
Well, I spent a lot of time under that hood.
Babe, she is running hot. Let's go. And next time, I get to play the mechanic.
Rev up the romance with Lion's Den, the official store of pleasure, passion, and romance.
Hey friends, Beamer here, 70 pounds down. Let that sink in. I'm officially 70 pounds down, all thanks to Awaken 180, and have transitioned smoothly into maintenance mode. This isn't just weight loss, this is life-changing stuff. I've dropped over 13% body fat, my visceral fat points are down by 8, and honestly, I feel like a completely new man. The coolest part, Awaken 180 just doesn't say congrats and then wave goodbye. They prepare you for maintenance, so now I get to reintroduce to myself foods that I love. Pizza, ice cream, very excited about all of that. My mindset's completely different though now. Do I crave junk food? Honestly, no. Can I eat those things now? Sure. Will I? Absolutely. But the difference is I no longer feel like I need them all the time. And Awaken 180's free support for life means that this weight's staying off. My body's now working for me instead of against me. I'm finally at my healthy baseline weight. I feel awesome. Change your mindset, change your life. Awaken 180 made it happen for me. And if it can happen for me, it can 100% happen for you. Check them out online at awaken180weightloss.com. awaken180weightloss.com.
Look, there's feelings and then there's the facts. If you're feeling like your finance team is bogged down in mundane manual tasks, the fact is you need Ramp. Ramp is the corporate card that makes the expense process fast and easy. The moment your team makes a purchase, Ramp handles everything. Receipt collection and approvals, the works. With Ramp, you can cut your month-end close from 5 days to 1, Customize approval workflows and get complete control over every transaction. Facts. Over 25,000 businesses trust Ramp, including Shopify and the Boys and Girls Club of America, which is why they were just named #1 in spend management by G2. Facts. Start using Ramp and you'll have more time to spend scaling your business. And that'll feel really good. Upgrade to Ramp for free today and get $250 at ramp.com/radio. Ramp.com/radio. That's RAMP.com/radio.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank, members FDIC.